All right, here we go. Let's see. Is this working? That's the big question. I always have to wonder every time I do this. Aha! Looks like we're good. Let me check the audio real quick. I have to wonder. Aha! Yes, of course. There you go. I heard my voice, so I'm gonna assume it's working. Yes. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another live broadcast. This time we're actually yeah, a little earlier. We usually like to do these like every 2 months, but it's only been about a month. Actually, I'm not even sure when the last live broadcast was. It feels like forever ago. Yes, let me actually look. I'm curious to see when that was. Let's see. Here we go. Last time we talked about Spider-Man and Wolverine. I don't think we really talked about Wolverine, to be honest. Yeah, it was actually just last month. So yeah, been a little almost. It's almost been about 2 months. But yeah, anyways. So yeah. Last time we talked about Wolverine and Spider-Man a little bit. Um, this time we don't have uh those two things to talk about. We have a bunch of other stuff to talk about. So I'm excited to get into that. So I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, don't worry, we'll get to some updates soon. Yeah, I can't wait to tell you what all has been going on with the channel and stuff like that, and things that are coming up in the future. So yes, um, very much looking forward to that. So oh, let's see. Sorry to multiple things. Oh yeah. It's all good. Yeah, yeah. Just glad to have you here. So that's cool. Um, yes. You ever just like find random files on your computer and they like bring back some memories and stuff like that? You're just like, oh, I remember this thing, or like, yeah, this thing is like so old. It's really weird, like, and trippy, knowing like we've been doing this channel for quite a while now. I think like the first video was in 2017 or something, which is very weird to think about because like so much has changed since then. We had like, I don't know, like probably like 14 subscribers or something, or I don't know how many subscribers we had. I think it was like around maybe like either 14 to 20. Um, yeah, that was crazy. Just looking back at all these stuff, like Avengers is 2 years old now. That's really weird. I don't like that. Joker Escapes, the first thing we uploaded on our channel was 4 years old. Um, the beginning of our Marvel universe is 3 years old now. So it's a very weird feeling, a very exciting feeling knowing that we're still doing this after 4 years, but it's also very weird too. And I think we've been live streaming for, yeah, about a year, looks like, which is also crazy. I remember the first time that we did this. It's very nerve wracking every time. I could say something stupid. Could say the stupidest thing ever, and we're gonna, everyone like, oh, I'm gonna clip that, upload it and stuff like that. So that's cool. Um, but yeah, you just like you find these random files on your computer and you kind of have forgotten about them. It's really interesting. And like before the stream, I was just screwing around, just looking at different files. I've been working on an audio drama. I mean, a big surprise, right? Audio Anomaly, working on an audio drama, but I'm not Audio Anomaly. I'm from Audio Anomaly, I guess. I I can imagine like it'd be weird if I just like went by Audio Anomaly, like, hey guys, what's up? My name's Audio Anomaly. I mean, call me Anomaly for sure. Short. Mr. Anomaly is my father. Please call me Audio. It's never gonna happen. It's like if Kevin Feige was like, please call me the MCU. Although I'm sure he probably does that. Yeah, he's like, we got an order, Starbucks order, Mr. MCU. He walks up. That's me. Thanks. Yeah, very random. But I've got this person that just like sends me a bunch of like random messages. Like I respond to their messages every time, and I enjoy talking to them. But they just like send me like some of the most random stuff about like skincare products and like makeup and stuff. It's like, all right, that's cool. I don't know how to do with this information, but absolutely, yeah. So that's I just got a message from them now. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I actually worked with them. I worked with them one single time, and we haven't been met. I remember like, you just wonder like how did like relationships start, right? Sometimes like it's like sometimes you can look back and like, yeah, I remember that we were on the same server. Hey, I'm talking like I'm talking like all my friends are online. Of course I have real life friends. No, there's real life friends out there that I have, of course. uh but yeah, you just like sometimes you just don't really like you can remember when you met, but you just like sort of like look back in like your friendship or whatever, like either it's like it's like it's been a while, or you're just like, how did it get to this point? Like, yeah, like I don't actually even like know like how this person like I don't actually really like fully completely know like what exactly like my link is with this person anymore besides working on them with one project. Um, but yeah, I don't even know how they found my Discord. Actually, that's kind of. Are they a spy? Have I fallen into a Soviet trap or something? This is crazy. Uh, but yeah. So what was I saying? That's yeah. Yeah. You know, just like you look at random files and stuff like that, and you just like you have memories from like whenever you were working on that or whatever, like especially if you're like, yeah, Soviet, exactly, Layla, but yeah, you just like have random memories tied to these files, like they sometimes they mean a lot. Other times it's like, oh, I remember that. Thank goodness that's over with. Like I have like a bunch of like random school stuff on my computer still that I'm very lazy when it comes to deleting files. I'm both very organized and not organized at all. I have all of the Marvel stuff is pretty meticulously organized. Except for the things that are not organized, but that's very, very limited. Sometimes just like throwing random files in places. I'm like, my job application. Let me put that in the Avengers folder. No, it's not that bad. But I did find like a random like job application thing in like one of my folders. Like, oh, well, there we go. There's also wait, hang on. Oh, okay, that's okay. I also have like I have the why? Okay, I don't know. I don't know why I have the Minecraft launcher in this folder. It's from 2013. That's very weird. Anyways, um, I don't know. Anyways, but this is what happens when it's only just me filling up the air. It's all just a bunch of random nonsense. But I have like a bunch of different music files on my computer. Like I have like every single pretty much I think every single soundtrack that we've used is on my computer still because I used to edit with another computer, so some of the soundtracks probably aren't on there. But I think I'm trying to remember when I started. Actually, as a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure I've pretty much edited mostly on this computer. I had an old computer, but then I transferred all those files, so I guess that's not true. But yeah. What was I saying? Yeah, it's like it's just kind of cool like, looking back, like, oh my god, that was like 2018 or something like that, you know? Um, like I was just listening to Two Hearts by Phil Collins, fantastic musical artist, who's featured in some of our videos because I really like his music. But there's like a part in the first Hawkeye, and I use that song, and I was gonna get somebody to play as a delivery driver, like it's just an extra character. Uh, they get held up and they take their clothes so they can like be disguised or whatever as like delivery people, and they take their truck or whatever for the Stark heist at the end of the audio drama. And I decided to play one of the delivery drivers, and I got somebody else, Moada. She plays Miss Belova in freak forgot the name, Black Widow. She plays her. Elena plays her. She's also Maria Hill, and other characters too, I believe. I forgot. I don't know if she. I'm trying to remember who plays. Uh, oh my god, this is the problem when you make up like a bunch of random characters. Some of the characters you don't really remember, but whatever Barry's ex-girlfriend is in Hawkeye. Barry is a made-up character, but him I remember his name because he's kind of important. But it's like something Castleberry. I don't remember what her first name was. Um, but I don't think it's Sarah. But I know a person named Sarah Castleberry, so I don't think I just like hey, I'm gonna make you a character in my audio drama. It's like whenever you have like you know somebody, you just like make a sim with them, and you just like I don't know where's this going? Where's this conversation going? Anyways, but I think she also played her, but I'm actually not sure. I wish I remembered who played her because I don't know if it was like somebody that I worked for with like once. I was like, hey, do you want another role of this like character that's like only in the audio drama for like 5 seconds? You know what I could do? I could literally just look at the cast list and not sort of theorize this. I don't think it actually is her. What am I even talking about? The point is, I she played one of the delivery drivers. I played the other one. I was gonna get somebody to play the other driver. I was like, I would do it myself. And then in the video, I get to sing very badly on purpose. I'm not a good singer either way, but it was purposely bad. So if you ever see that and it's like, wow, this guy sucks, like that was on purpose. But you can imagine me having like a Paul McCartney type voice, but that'd be you just be lying to yourself. But let me see. Um, I forgot I changed the name to Hawkeye Mind Circus. That's right, because I was like, oh, Mind Circus. What does that mean? It's a cool name. I love it. The person that plays Barry, Ethan, amazing person, fantastic. He's a lot of really cool. Oh, that's the person that played him. Plague. Right, right, right. I've worked with Plague before, but I don't actually. I'm sorry, Plague. I don't actually remember what else we've worked on together. But yeah, very very cool. I remember a lot of the voice actors. Okay, I could if you name like a project right now, I could probably name a good sizable amount of the voice actors. Don't quote me on that. Don't actually do that. Don't write anything in the comments. No, I could do it. But anyways, yeah. I found that song on my computer. It's like, wow, it's been a while since we've done that. So yeah, it's really trippy sometimes looking back at the files and being like, wow, hey, that was remember this time that you made this thing? That was 3 years ago. So very weird experience. Yes. But yeah, so it's kind of fun too, like seeing maybe what you've forgotten on your computer or whatever. Like, oh, this like super old thing that I downloaded like 50 years ago. What is this? You know? And oh, I said don't do it, Wayla. Okay, so yeah. I feel like I can probably I don't know if I can name everybody on the list because there's like a few people that I worked with once, but as far as Captain America. I'm totally not looking off the list, by the way. There's no way I would do that. No, but no, seriously. Um, you've got Sink who plays Cap, who's really amazing as Cap. He's played Cap since the beginning. He was like one of the first people we ever cast, so that's really cool. But Sink has played Cap in the first Captain America, the second one. He's played Captain America in Avengers. He also plays Ed. What's his name? Marsh something. Eddie Marsh, I think. He's like one of the people that's on the board of Stark Industries. I used to remember this stuff pretty well, but it's been like a while. But then we also have Matt Chaos. He plays James Montgomery Fallsworth. We have Energetic Dre, who plays Spider-Man. He plays Hulk, and he also plays Dum Dum Dugan. The person who plays I'm blanking on his name. No, we've got History King. He plays Gabe Jones. Right. Gabe Jones. He plays Gabe Jones. Who else? We've got Mr. Broman, John Broman as Jim Morita. We've got oh no, I feel really bad for blanking on this one. Oh God, what is his name? No, the I hope he's not watching right now. It's oh God, I think it's like okay. I'm gonna say the name. I'm gonna check real quick, and I apologize. It's but it's Tom Perry Jones, I believe, who plays Zemo. So let me see real quick. I'm gonna look at his name only. I'm not gonna look at any other name, which actually I feel like is virtually impossible. But I'm gonna try anyways. Tom Perry Jones. That's right. It's all in the dome. I got it all. I got that knowledge in there in my brain. We've got who else? Okay, I don't remember the person that plays the German soldier in the project. There's like a person that plays some of the German extras. We've got Sharon Grunwald, who we've worked with on a number of projects. She plays Sharon Carter. Who else is there really? I think that's like pretty much the main cast. Oh, Zemo's there. I play Bucky. That I spelled my name wrong in the credits. I spelled it like Chris Topper instead of like it is like it's I missed the H and the PH, which is funny because that's like the first like that's like our first big project and I spelled my name wrong. So I was gonna keep that up. I was gonna keep on spelling my name wrong, but I was like, I'll just play it normal, I guess. But anyways, you ever like see like somebody whenever they change their profile picture, say, wait, who is this person? I just looked at one of the people on the server is like, there's also some people I will say there's some people on the server that's we have like I think about 70 people on our server. Let me see. Which is crazy. Like this server used to have 12 people, so it used to have less than 12 people. Obviously, when I started, it had one person. Wow, and then eventually got 2 people. Crazy, right? No. Anyways, but yeah, there's a few people that actually that have not been in our projects. They're still There's one person I've worked with before. They're on other projects, but they're like, I was gonna get them to play one character, but they sadly had to drop out. So they're still on the server after like literally like almost 4 years. Actually, it probably has been 4 years, which is hilarious. There's also another person on here that's never voiced for us. They were going to play a character, but they had to drop out as well. So, it's a character we've had a lot of trouble casting. Actually, this character, one person dropped out because they were too busy. Um, Another person disappeared off of the face of the earth. We casted them, and then they're like, "All right, I'm gone." So, I remember this one time, like, people come and go. Of course, like we have different people. Um, for different roles and whatnot. But I remember like this one time, um, the first person. I don't feel bad about calling this person out. The first person to play Loki, who is not the person that plays Loki, mind you. The person that plays Loki has played Loki since the beginning, and he's amazing. Steven Villanova, quite the very talented voice actor, amazing person. I really enjoy talking to him, and I've known him for like 3 years now, probably about 4 years now actually, which is really cool to think about. But and the original person that played Loki dropped out, and they did not leave a message for me at all. They're just like, "Hey," they said on the server, "I'm going. Goodbye." They didn't say that verbatim, but and they didn't even message me about it. They're like, "Yep." Didn't bother. It's like, "Oh, by the way, here's the problem." They they told me, "Oh, I'll get the wine to you next week," and then like next week, "I need just a little more time." All right, okay, sure. "Oh, sorry, I'll get them to you by the end of next week." Yeah, that went on for about a month after the deadline. So, but four got released, as you can see. So it all worked out in the end, and we got the best person to play Loki ever. So, Vincent, I hope you're doing well. Whatever you're doing now, it is not playing Loki. Maybe this person Vincent is on to some bigger and better things. Maybe Vincent perhaps is actually Robert Downey Jr. this whole time. Who knows? Who knows? But anyways, so I don't even know what we got onto this topic. It was right. I said I could, if you name any audio drama we've made, I could name the cast. Pretty much. I remember everybody we've worked with, except for the people that I may have forgotten that have only played a few small, tiny characters, possibly. But I remember pretty much everybody. Also, I forgot Blake, Snake Man 5001 or 5001. I don't know. He used to be a big part of our project too. He was actually like for a while, like it's him and Sharon that are sort of like our quote unquote Stan Lees, people that are in pretty much every project. Snake Man was in like every project I believe up to his last project was Captain America 2, Captain America 1954. So we owe him a lot. He did a lot of heavy lifting. He was the narrator for one of the projects. He plays. Okay, here we go. Here we go. I'm gonna try to list. I can't list all the characters he's played because he plays a lot of extra characters too. He played Jarvis in Captain America. He played he played Heimdall in Thor 1. He played Jarvis again in Iron Man 2. Let's see. After that's Hulk. He plays what's his name? He plays one of the unholy Trinity guys or whatever. I think like his name is Slick or something. I don't remember. I don't remember those guys at all. I think it was like Rangers, Slick, and I don't remember the rest. The other one. Um, okay, maybe I'm gonna be honest. Maybe I can't quite name everybody. Like if you asked me to name all the people from Hulk, maybe I wouldn't quite be able to, because that one was very fun. But it's been 3 years, okay? Please. It's also very weird seeing ads on my videos because I don't make any ad revenue from these. But YouTube's like, let's put those on there. Just put those on there. It's like, okay, sure. I didn't. If I could remove the ads, I would, but I unfortunately can't. Oh, he played Prick, not Slick. I was close. Okay. Where else? Let's see. What are the other guys? Baldy and Ranger, I believe, is the other guy's name. Who plays Ranger, actually? Mr. Mostard, of course. Right. Yeah. Right. Okay. Anyways, yeah, I'm just sort of recapping my entire YouTube career at this point, to be honest. My entire career with Audio Anomaly. But, what was I saying? Let me think. Oh, yeah. Blake. Wait. He also does music as well, which is very cool. He also, let's see, he plays like the guy that uh Black Widow kills in Black Widow. Oh yeah, Black Widow. Yeah. He plays. I think his name is like Maximilian or something like that. I like to name characters off of people sometimes. But it's also is very weird because like sometimes I kill off these characters. They're like meaningless characters. Like, by the way, I named this character. I have a friend named Maximilian from Germany, and he. I remember being very sad when he moved back to Germany. I think I was like in fifth grade or something. I think it was fifth grade. I known him since like first grade, and I reconnected with him last year, and I haven't talked to him since, but I'll talk to him. I'll talk to him. Don't worry, don't worry. But yes, I named the character off of him, and he's the character that gets killed by by Black Widow. So there we go. Congratulations, Max. Happy birthday. But anyways, um, yeah, he played Blake played Maximilian in that. He also played, I believe he played one of the teachers as well in Black Widow, so that's cool. And then in Hawkeye, he plays the two Cannonball twin guys, and also Jarvis in the end. Spoiler: where Jarvis is in the end of that project. But then, of course, in Avengers, he also plays Jarvis, and then in Cap 2, he plays Jarvis. So there we go. I don't think he plays anybody else in Cap 2. I think he just plays Jarvis. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm not wrong. I'm trying to remember. Well, I guess he is the first voice you hear in the entire universe, which is really cool. And I think that will probably stay like that. Actually, it won't stay like that. Sorry, I'm sorry, Blake. If you watch it chronologically from when we released the movies, not these are movies, audio dramas, then yeah, you will hear his voice first. But if you listen to them in the order of like timeline wise, then yeah, you will not eventually hear his voice. But yeah, so that's gonna be interesting. Because right now, Captain America is like the first audio drama we've ever made, and then it's also in the universe, and it's also the first one in the timeline so far. Which once again will not be fully true. Eventually, there will be there will be things that take place before that. Not a lot of stuff. We don't have a lot of stuff planned, and like there's like some stuff that's like pre like I don't know, pre-modern civilization sometimes. Like there's like stuff that takes place in the 1700s and whatnot, and there's a bunch of different things like that. Um, we don't have any plans for that yet, but we actually, I never mentioned it, but we had this writers meeting, which was very fun. We had a lot of really cool people involved. Like pretty much every person that's writing for the channel was there. There were a few people that were missing, a few people that sort of came in, weren't there at the beginning, but came in, which is really exciting. I'm trying to remember when we think about everybody who was there. I'm just filling the dead air, waiting to see if anybody joins. I don't think they're joining, which is fine. This might just be an hour live stream, which is cool. But anyways, yeah. So yeah, okay. I'm trying to remember everybody that came. Of course, like Joe was the Joe Boslinski, the director of Spider-Man. He's the writer and director of the Spider-Man series that has been doing very well. So thank you everybody for all of the views and likes and stuff and the meaningful comments. Very very meaningful. Um, and yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, he was the one that actually had the idea for this writers retreat, which we did last month, which was very fun. Very loved it. Loved it. There was some chaos there, but it also like really helped unify us, which was really amazing. So we, I feel like as writers and stuff like that, we're just, you know, we're united and stuff like that. So it's great having more unity and like people talking to other people and like, hey, I want to do this. You want to like collaborate with this and stuff like that. So it's very cool seeing that. That sort of fostered that with the writers retreat that we had. All for the benefit of the channel, yes. So very cool, and the benefit for ourselves, I guess. So Joe is there, who of course, like I said, is the writer and director of Spider-Man. He's also voiced some characters. He voices Moon Knight and all of the various characters that revolve around Moon Knight. Of course, like Jake and Steven and whatnot. And he also plays the cashier in Deadpool. So one of the most important characters in the universe. And we also have him playing a character he plays Micro in Punishment Pass 2, the Punisher series we've got going on. We'll talk about that soon as well. I did not add an image to the old OBS for Punisher, but we'll be talking about Punishers. That's cool. And then of course we had well, myself was obviously there, and we also had the Funny Hatter, who is the writer and director of Weapon X, Asset Weapon X, which we'll also be talking about a little bit later. We had Kira, who's writing and directing Fantastic Four stuff, which I won't talk about, but just know that there is some Fantastic Four stuff brewing. Yes. We had Ethan, who voices Barry Bishop, Kate Bishop's brother, who does not actually exist in the comics. So he's actually based on Barney Barton. So he's basically just a ripoff of him, but modified to be different. I guess that's what modifying means. But yeah. So yeah, we had Ethan there, who's writing something I can't talk about, but you can perhaps guess as to what it is, possibly. Or maybe not. I don't know. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not obvious. I don't know. We had Victor there, who was writing X-Men. A lot of really cool stuff. Victor laid out his plan for the X-Men stuff, which was quite exciting indeed. A lot of really cool storylines and ideas there. Very excited for that. I feel like you guys will love all the X-Men stuff that Victor is cooking up. He's a mad genius. He's got a lot of cool stuff brewing there, so that's cool. We also had Joey Simcox, who wrote, I should say, and is directing the next audio drama, which I'll give you a hint. It might be right there in the thumbnail, but yes. So that's gonna be cool. And he also has some ideas for other stuff too, which is very exciting. So, thank you, Joey. And who else was there? AJ Cruz, the writer and director of She-Hulk, was there. I did mention Kira. Let's see. Who else was there? Let's see. I think that it. Oh, of course, Weiwa. Weiwa was there, right? Weiwa, of course, the writer and director of Jessica Jones, which we'll also be talking about later. Yes. I think that might have been everybody. I wasn't keeping track of everyone. There were a few people that weren't there, but it was quite exciting indeed. Yes. So that was very cool. So I'm looking forward to displaying all of their work in the future for all of you to love and enjoy all their hard work and stuff. Yeah, so that'll be fun. And yes. Oh my god, my goodness, Mr. Hatter, we're just talking about you. Hey, you surprised me there. I have notifications turned off, so all of a sudden you just like, oh.
I don't know how I got here.
Oh god, yeah, it must have something to do with Spider-Man, maybe. I don't know.
God damn it, Spider-Man, he's a menace!
He is. Oh, man. So, I just realized I have your Discord volume set to 183. That explains a lot. That's very loud. But how are you doing today, Mr. Hatter?
I have developed a coof. It's not the coof, but it's definitely quite a coof.
Oh, no. Oh, I hope you feel better, sir. Yeah, there's been some wild jam flying around our place too, as far as like colds and stuff like that. So I hope you feel better.
I hope so too, for my sake.
Oh yes. But what have you been up to recently, my good sir? Besides, of course, having a cough, unfortunately.
I just started another school semester.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, very excited. And I recently got promoted at my job.
Oh, yes.
I can now confidently say that I am a biologist.
Hey, that's exciting. Yeah, congratulations.
Yes, no applause. Please, no applause. Otherwise, I will find you and I will audit you.
Oh no, I gotta run.
And the audit's coming, my friend.
Oh,
it's too late.
Oh, I will accept my audit.
Layla, why are you always in the chat but you're never on voice? I'm very upset. This saddens me. This saddens me to my core and my colon. You've upset my colon. I hope you're happy.
Oh man, that sounds very painful. Wait, look what you're doing to this poor guy.
I have no health insurance, and now my colon will suffer for the rest of my life.
Oh no. That's the power of audio anomaly, I guess. Unfortunately, we've got too much power over people's health, sadly.
Yeah, it's definitely not classified yet as a weapon of mass destruction. We're trying to stay on the down low for that one.
Yeah, thankfully, yeah, no Geneva Convention or anything yet, so we're all safe for now. Don't tell anybody though.
Mm.
Oh yes. But yeah, have you been reading any exciting things? Any comics or anything like that?
Not Not really. I'm actually working on something right now that does involve comics.
Oh.
It's I have been watching something comic related to make sure I'm doing my homework on it though.
Oh, interesting. Very mysterious. Yes, I do wonder what it is.
Can I say it here, or do you want to keep it a surprise?
Oh, if you want to, yeah, feel free to. Yeah, if you wish.
Awesome. Okay, so I have high endeavors here, high aspirations that I'm going to, hopefully, if no one beats me to it, I don't know who's all listening right now, but I have aspirations to be Audio Anomaly's first official What If debut on here,
Ooh.
being the what if story, and this is an original concept as far as I know. If somebody knows that this already exists, please be sure to tell me and insult me first about it, just so I feel bad about it and never try to attempt something like this again. Because apparently I have a very bad habit of coming up with ideas that have already been made.
Oh, I hate
And
that.
I kid you not, like I almost everything I come up with is like, oh, what if like a Daredevil did this, or what if Wolverine did that? It's already been done. Just look up in the comics. It's like, oh, what if Iron Man? It's already been done. Well, what if Hydra? It's already been done. God damn it!
Everything's been done.
Everything's been done except this, as far as I know. So if I
Yes.
see anybody come up with this on a different YouTube channel, I'm going to be very upset. I
Going down the
legally
wall.
can't. I legally can't sue you, but I will make it seem like I can. I will try my best to make it seem like I have I have the law on my side.
Yes.
But enough stalling. I wish to create a what if story in the form of what if Atlantis made a treaty with the United States. Now, this is the comic book related part that I was talking about. So I've been recently watching the Namor the Submariner cartoons from the 60s. And because I do want to make this in the style of like the 60s cartoon, like 60s Iron Man, Captain America, Hulk, Thor, Namor, Spider-Man. I'm not sure if Spider-Man's going to be in it just yet because I kind of feel like I'd just be like tagging him in there. Um, but the idea behind it is that, so like the premise is, so if you're not really familiar with Namor the Submariner, he's basically Marvel's. And I'm not talking to you, Christopher. I already know that
Oh.
I've already well educated
Who
and
is
beat you
this
over the head with Namor.
guy? What is
Yeah. So Namor, for the uninitiated, is basically Marvel's Aquaman, but he's more of a villain, kind of like an anti-hero. He does not like the surface world, like at all. So I'd say probably the best comparison, if you're a big Aquaman fan or if you've seen the movie Aquaman, he's kind of along the lines of Ocean Master, except that he's not as, I'd say, vain as Ocean Master. At least in the comics. It's funny. I think Aquaman did a better depiction of Namor in the form of Ocean Master than Black Panther 2 did with their Namor.
That is funny.
I mean, if you really read the comics, it's pretty funny. That, and they also had the best person to play Aquaman, and they had him play Ocean Master, but whatever. I only read the comic books. Anyway, so this version of Namor is that he's gonna be kind of like Aquaman, so where instead of being raised in the ocean, he's gonna be raised by his dad on the land, and he wants to join the Navy, and his dad's like, no, go to the sea instead. So he's like, okay, Dad. So he just swims down to the bottom of the ocean, as you do, and he finds Atlantis. He finds his heritage, and he works his way up to proving Atlantis that he needs to be the prince. He takes like his rightful place as Prince of Atlantis. And around the time Pearl Harbor gets bombed, Namor, Atlantis picks up like a whole bunch of bombings that are going on. Like, oh, what's going up there? What's going on? It's like the war is at war. It's almost like a world war.
Oh my
So Namor, go check it out. Okay, so Namor goes to check it out, and he realizes that Pearl Harbor has been bombed. America is now getting involved in World War II. And so since he's biased, since he lived there, kind of like how Aquaman lived in the lighthouse, he wants to join into the Navy. He works more as like a consultant, but that's besides the point. He's with the U.S. military, and he runs into Captain America, and they find out like that Red Skull has like basically replicated the atom bomb that they're gonna, or both bombs that they're gonna drop in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And so they're like, wait, we gotta stop this. It's gonna cause a whole bunch of like death or something like that. And I was like, really? Death or something like that? Exactly like that. So, oh no.
Oh no.
Now, I want to make it to seem like Captain America is like convincing Namor. It's like, we gotta stop him. Why? They're the enemy. It's like, it's not about the enemy, soldier. It's about saving as many lives as possible. Oh, I guess you're right, Captain America. Okay, let's go talk to the president. And so they do. And then he was like, oh, gee, golly. Well, I already sent the order, unless you can like fly up and catch him. And then Namor's like, I can do that. It's like, oh, okay, well, have fun. And so he manages to catch one of the bombs and deactivate them, but like the other one's like drops down and he catches it. And I want to have it in like a very campy cartoon fashion to where like he goes up to like the supreme leader, the prime minister. I mean, I guess you could say supreme leader of Japan. And he's like, hey, look at this. The U.S. was about to drop this on you, and your entire city was going to be not a city. Oh no, please take it away from here, as he says in scared Japanese. And so that kind of persuades Japan to make a treaty with the United States, and that would be like the result in this universe as to how the U.S. government got control or led the Japanese military, because in our time, after the bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, after they gave up, they made a deal with us, the U.S., just in case you couldn't figure out that I'm a dumb, stupid American. That's how we ended up. I don't know if it's still going on right now. I have to do my homework on that. But like for the longest time, that's was like the reason why the U.S. was under the control of the Japanese military. So throughout this entire series, I want to make it like a metaphor in well, the theme is going to be freedom versus security, because as all of these, it's good. So like Japan would be like the first of many treaties that the U.S. would be making with a whole bunch of other countries. Like after they make a treaty, everybody else becomes scared of the United States because they are now declared a superpower, right? With all of their technology and whatnot. However, at the same time, you're seeing like a whole bunch of superhero groups and superpowered individuals such as the Avengers, Fantastic Four, Inhumans, the X-Men, and now it almost seems like everywhere mutants are popping up. And like I was like, well, the United States is a superpower itself, and they now have superpowered individuals such as this Magneto character, and he's out of control. What do we do? Let's how about we make weapons and we'll use it against the United States if we get upset with them. Okay, I like that. Let's keep that a secret. And then the United States catches word of this. It's like, well, they could go off at any time, but we have a whole bunch of weapons. Let's use that against them if we get upset. We'll keep that a secret. So that's what kind of leads into the Cold War. So I kind of want to like make it along like the lines of like And you've probably seen like recently The Flash, or maybe a while back like Men in Black 3, to
Oh.
where like when you play with time, once you try to erase something or try to get rid of something, that thing, like if you try to get rid of X, somehow X event is still going to happen. Like one of my favorite lines in Men in Black 3 is the guy who can like see like all the, like the possible
Oh.
timelines and outcomes. He says, "Where there is death, there will always be death."
Ooh.
And in the movie, if you haven't seen it, spoilers ahead, but I'm going to give away the ending. Mike Coulter, Luke Cage, who is Will Smith's dad, Kay's dad, we find out the reason why he wasn't around is because um, so originally, wait, was it Kay? Kay. I'm thinking Will Smith is Jay. So Kay, who is Josh Brolin and Tommy Lee Jones, ended up getting killed by like a time traveling alien who wants revenge. But since Jay had to go and fix that, his dad, Luke Cage, ends up taking the bullet of what was supposed to kill Kay, and that's where that lines up to where Jay ended up without a father. He was on his own, and then like he ends up finding the Men in Black. So make a long story short, this is how this what if story ends up going into World War II, to the Cold War, to now. So I wanted to use mutants or Inhumans, depending. I'm probably going to use mutants as more as a metaphor for having the United States be a superpower, because most of like the superhero teams are like in New York because Stan Lee couldn't think of anything else of either New York or California for some reason. So I thought that was like perfect. So I was like, perfect. They're gonna be bombs. They're metaphor for bombs. And so that's what's gonna lead Russia and China into becoming scared of them, and that's where they join alliances to create the Communist Party. And I'm thinking about maybe adding Red Guardian in there, maybe Omega Red. I may not, but because I really want the focus to be mostly, like I said, on when a country or a system of countries gives up their freedom for security. And in this sense, it would be more of like a Captain America and Namor centered story, mostly Namor, to where I'm basically giving the entire story away. So might as well not even watch it when it comes out.
You already got it here first.
Yep, you already got it here first. It's all detailed, everything in your head. It's basically out of theaters at this point. But in the end, I want there to be like a talk. I mean, they're going to fight because Captain America is going to assemble the Avengers to stop Namor and the U.S. president from. So Namor doesn't know that the president, who's going to be President Nixon at the time, is planning on basically conducting a. So they're going to go to war with Russia and China. And the reason why is because since they're threatening to basically fight them at any moment of time, they're going to figure, well, we might as well strike before they strike us, and we'll make a treaty with them. If they don't comply, then a treaty will be made for them. And so it's that kind of mindset. And because of that, Namor doesn't like it at first, but he does agree because he is also scared of the Russians and of the Chinese. I need to figure out what exactly, like, what kind of threat they pose to Atlantis, but it is going to be something that provokes Namor to act. So what Namor doesn't know, because this actually did happen in our history, after the bombing of Nagasaki and Hiroshima, the U.S. government maybe sort of kind of set up concentration camps for the Japanese because they didn't know if who was a spy. It was kind of like in the show on FX, The Americans, to where like these Russian spies pose as American citizens. So they wanted to make sure like there were no Japanese spies acting as Americans. So they figured, you know what? Just find anybody who looks Japanese or Asian and just put them in a camp to concentrate their thoughts. It's okay. It's just we're just it's for security, right? Yeah, we're just being safe. Can't be too careful. So what Namor doesn't know is that President Nixon basically plans on doing that. He plans on making concentration camps for Russians and the Chinese, um, and basically ending going down the road to becoming another Hitler because he doesn't realize that all these treaties that are being made with other countries, such as like countries in South America, Canada, even Europe, and some parts of Africa, they're all being conducted out of fear. It's not freedom. It's not like thinking, oh well, maybe this is a good investment. This is we better sign up with these guys. I don't want to be on their bad side. So that's kind of the direction I want to lean into. And then Captain America, like in Captain America and the Winter Soldier, says to Nick Fury, is like, this isn't freedom. What you're doing is fear. And Namor doesn't realize that, and so we're going back up to the president again, and they say to Nixon, "We got to stop this." I'm like, I guarantee you, the Russians, the Chinese, the Vietnam people that are very scary. Oh, that's another thing too. All of these wars, the Vietnam War, Korean War, Bay of Pigs, all of those kind of wars, they're still happening. They're just being taken care of in a different way, but they're still happening because this is a result of so many other countries fearing the United States in its power. So they said, if we give up all this, we give up everything, and we can ensure that they give up everything too, everything will go back to normal. And we don't have to fear one another. I'm still trying to figure that part out because it's not going to be like in fucking Wonder Woman 84. It's like, give up your wishes. The world will be fine if you give up your wish. And of course, everybody gives up their wish because it's the right thing to do. So we're not going to do that. Just because I just don't want to get sued by Warner Brothers. That's the only reason why. But I do want to make it to where, in the end, not only does it say we can't keep doing this, this is the reason why we're going to war, or like we're about to go to war, and we're just going to keep going into war over and over and over, unless we have other countries be free on their own. So Captain America and Namor convinced Richard Nixon. I know that's going to be a bit hard to write. However, I'm going to do my homework on it. Convince Nixon and the rest of the United States to end their treaties with other countries and let them be their own countries, settle their own freedoms, figure their own stuff out. And Atlantis is going to go back to just being simply Atlantis itself. That's another thing too. With the Treaty of Atlantis itself, it's going to spike. Their technology is going to spike like heavily because Atlantis is going to help out the United States. The United States is going to help out Atlantis to where they're basically just like territories. They say that there's a treaty, but it's like a territory, like say like in Cuba or Puerto Rico. But basically, that's the entire story, and I gave it away just like an idiot. So, yeah. So if anybody steals that, I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna make a Twitter account or an X account, and I'm gonna say a lot of things about it. Yeah. And I'm gonna be very upset. I'm gonna write a very long and detailed paragraph saying how very, very angry I am with you.
Oh man, yeah, that is a quite an exciting story and quite an exciting what if scenario, like really well thought out, of course, and lots of research. Yeah, Will agrees as well. Yeah, a lot of cool research, a lot of interesting research, and a lot of avenues that you're looking down. Even going back to like the original, like the Namor stuff. And also like yeah, like you said, you're looking at the historical things that have happened in our timeline and sort of like messing around with those and seeing what can be done with that. So that is quite exciting. So I'm looking forward to that. I think it shall be the first what if story because I don't think we have anybody else really working on any other what if stories at the moment. So I have like an idea for what if story, but I'm not gonna do it. For if I do it, I don't know. But
Ooh,
at least
ooh,
I
what is
won't
it?
I'll do it for now. Um, let me look real quick at my notes. Where is this? To make sure. I think I forgot if I had two. I do have two. One of them actually is like more probable. I won't talk about that one. Uh, because like the fact that it's more probable, but also I may not do it. So that doesn't make any sense. But anyways, yeah. So I had this idea. Um, I called it. I just ripped off Batman Beyond, so I called it Spider-Man Beyond. I won't actually. If I do make it, I won't call it Spider-Man Beyond. That's just sort of like a placeholder name, and sort of like I feel like the connection, like oh, if you think like Batman Beyond but Spider-Man, then maybe that connection is perhaps like oh, it sort of like keys you into like the story already, but it's also like very different too. It's not like Peter being like a mentor to like somebody like say Miles or whatever. But this idea basically is that Uncle Ben lives, and I don't know if I had.
The dead speak.
Yes, exactly. Oh yeah, I do have it. Okay, so Aunt May is killed, so Peter still has that motivation, the death motivation, if you will. Except for this time it's Aunt May instead of Uncle Ben. But this Uncle Ben is a little more like say like there's like the softer Alfreds, if you will, and then there's like the more like oh I was in the military, Master Bruce and whatever that sort of Alfred. I guess like the Batman Alfred is not quite as soft of an Alfred. Um, Sort of like that. I kind of pictured this Uncle Ben being like not like your typical like sort of kind-hearted Uncle Ben, but someone that's like still kind-hearted, but like is a little more strict and perhaps more serious than like the typical Uncle Ben. Um,
He's a stern but struggling alcoholic who loves his family.
yes, exactly. That's Uncle Ben for you. But yeah, basically the idea is that Uncle Ben used to be he's like a former cop or whatever, or I don't know, former cop, probably cop, probably not like soldier or whatever, in the military. But yeah, Uncle Ben is, he finds out that Peter is Spider-Man, and instead of like, oh yeah, you don't be Spider-Man or whatever, or whatever, he accepts it, he embraces it, and he's sort of like Peter's guy in the chair, and he like helps out with missions and stuff like that. And Gwen survives too. Like I kind of like combined like two ideas, like based on what one of my friends was telling me about. I mean, I think there's like two. I think there's like one what if comic, like what if Gwen Stacy survives, maybe. I don't know. I think it's pretty old. Um, and then I also like the idea of like Uncle Ben surviving. I've liked. I thought it's kind of interesting because it doesn't really happen, but sort of combine those two ideas and like oh well yeah, what would happen if like Peter and Gwen were Gwen survives and stuff like that, and whatever else, like what would their relationship be like after that or whatever, anything like that. So that's basically the general idea. I don't really have like too many like story ideas. Just sort of like the setup is like Uncle Ben's alive, he's Peter's guy in the chair, and Gwen is alive, and everybody's happy in theory. So there you go.
In theory.
In theory, that classic Parker walk though. So who knows what happens?
Yep.
So, oh, okay. I all right. Oh, okay. You're back.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm dealing with Wi-Fi goblins.
Oh no, it's more understood. Yeah. But yes, yeah, that was sort of my basic idea. I have like one other what if idea. What if ideas aren't really like things that I think about too much, but it's really fun just like sort of thinking about. We've got like some sort of mainline stories and stuff like that, of course. Just like seeing like where like other stories could go if like one thing was different, sort of the butterfly effect or whatever. Like seeing the sort of rippling in time and how that would affect different events and whatnot. Different events either in real life, like yours, of course, with World War II and everything after that, with the Cold War and whatnot, or fictional events like if Gwen Stacy died, what would become of like MJ or whatever, and like how would that affect Peter and like everybody. So yeah, there we go. It's fun.
We've already seen what happens. She becomes his girlfriend after Gwen dies.
That's true. Yeah. So yeah, so it's fun. Yeah, sort of just theorizing and stuff. I love like the massively creative what if stories. I feel like with the series was fun. There's like some episodes that I really like. There's episodes that are fun, are cool. Um, but it only like scratches the surface really of like what if. Like there's like so many wild ideas. Like Chitala as Star Wars is interesting, but I feel like they can push the envelope even further and like do some like really wacky, crazy ideas and stuff like that. So I hope that's what happens for season two, whatever that may be. But yeah.
Dude, you have no idea just how disappointed I was in the What If show.
Yeah. Oh.
I kid you not. Like, I mean, they had some interesting ideas, but if you think about it, they were all played so safely.
They were.
Because if you notice, there were no other characters in the show besides the Watcher that were introduced in a What If series besides the people that have already come before. So everybody who had been introduced up to the point of What If were basically in the show, but nobody else. No, there was no Moon Knight, there was no Miss Marvel, there was no who else? There was no She-Hulk. Everything that they had planned for that came after What If, nobody showed up, which would have been the perfect opportunity to introduce a character, especially for like one of the big shows that are coming out like after that. Is like I saw through what they were trying to do, and there was just
for the
some.
Wise Jedi.
I do not fear the mouse as you do. No, but it's like with like the zombie one, for example.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a really popular story. I wouldn't say it's like their best story, but it's definitely a popular story that they have in Marvel Zombies. But not only is it played too safe, it's not as scary as it could be because you gotta look out for the kiddies. You gotta make sure they're not scared of zombies or anything like that. People coming back from the dead. You can't. Yeah. And they don't have like the characteristics of what happens after they become zombies, because in the comic book, like they still have like their consciousness, right? When they're zombies, the only thing that's different really is just that they hunger for living people and they change, kind of like drug addicts, like whenever, because they're basically addicted to living meat. So that's what changes them, and they feel bad about it. Some of them feel bad about it, like Wolverine doesn't feel bad about like fucking eating people, but Spider-Man, he definitely does. Like he's like constantly crying about like everything because he ate everybody that he cares about. And that's what made the story so compelling, is like, well, they became monsters, but they're still the heroes that they were before. It's just that circumstances really changed them when like the zombies were introduced. But like they don't do that. They just make it a Walking Dead for the Avengers, but for kids.
Yeah, that was a shame. There's definitely some storylines that they should have added Jessica Jones. That'd be fun. That they should have. I really would have loved to have seen them like go further with that, because zombies is like, I'd say it's fairly popular. I've never actually, I'm familiar with it, but I haven't actually read it myself. But I've seen like panels from it. I remember like this kid on the bus one time was reading it back when I was in like freaking elementary school. It's like my first exposure. Like, what is this? What are you reading? But yeah, like I do like the Doctor Strange one was great because like really like emotional.
That one was pretty good.
Yeah, that was definitely my favorite. I like the murder mystery one too. I think it was like episode 3 or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's 3. It's definitely one of the ones close to the beginning.
Yeah,
I do remember that.
I think it was. Yeah, the first one was like Captain America. Like, what if Peggy Carter was like Captain Britain or whatever.
Oh, gee, an original concept.
Who could have thought of this? Yeah.
Who could have thought of a female Captain America?
Never.
I sure as hell didn't. Disney thought I couldn't. They couldn't. They thought that I couldn't like, for some reason, a black man holding Captain America's shield with wings, even though I bought the first issue myself. That's when I got into comics.
Oh my goodness.
Apparently Disney thought I wouldn't like that.
I guess not.
They would never accept a black man as Captain America.
Oh man.
Whatever.
Oh.
Apparently, the Disney thinks I have a very low imagination, which is funny because that's what I think of them.
Ah, yes. Um, yeah, that one was pretty fun. I feel like that one was like perhaps it could have been like even better, but I still feel like it was pretty good. Like you could have like strengthened it a little more, perhaps like with more time or whatever. But that was pretty cool. I like the Ultron stuff. The Ultron stuff was pretty fun. Like
That one was pretty cool. I also
yeah.
like how they had Zola actually more involved in it.
Oh yeah, that's true. That was cool. Um, Everything else was fine. The first episode was pretty fun. It was very, like you said, very safe and like yeah, cool. Um, I thought that was
Oh my
pretty.
God! I just remembered that they broke the rules of the Infinity Stone with the Ultron episode.
That's true.
God
I
damn
almost
it!
forgot about that too.
I think I mentioned this on the
Uh,
podcast before, but oh my God, I this drove me up the fucking wall when this happened. Like, I like the idea of like Ultron being able to see the Watcher, like
oh
when like there's nothing
yeah.
left in the universe, but like the Infinity Stones shouldn't be able to do that because in the comic books, it's explained in the Fantastic Four that when you see like the Citadel of Reed Richards, that like the three main ones, they have Infinity Gauntlets that are complete on their own, but they don't work in that dimension because each set of Infinity Stones works in its own separate dimension. And so that's why they're able to have it. So whenever they go to their own dimension, it's like, okay, there's trouble, go away. And then they just come back to like their own self-made government. But now it's like the rules are reversed. Like the Infinity Stones can affect other universes, and I guess they can only make machines that target that universe's Infinity Stones, but no other Infinity Stones. Like whatever.
Man, yeah. So that's weird.
If that's the case, then like where's the stopping the power level? The Watchers should be doing like a lot more if each set of Infinity Stones has the potential to multiverse hop and do exactly what Ultron did. Like, who's to say that there isn't like a whole bunch of Thanoses that are doing the exact same thing?
That's true. Yeah, you could get into some pretty crazy territory, I'd say.
Yeah, otherwise there would be like a police force to make sure like something that doesn't happen. Not to say that there isn't, but like the danger, like the danger level with that for that would be way too high to where like there would have to be like so many individuals that are keeping on track. It'd be like in fucking Spider-Verse 2 to where like almost every single Spider-Man or Spider-Person is keeping an eye out for canon events to make sure that they're happening a certain way. But in Marvel, they didn't do that because there weren't too many threats like that were like hopping around the multiverse, causing a bunch of ruckus. The Watchers were there to make sure that everything was documented. But if everybody at some point collected all the Infinity Stones, started multiverse hopping, is like, well, gee, what are you doing? Just document. You got to stop these people.
Yeah, you can't just say, all right, label them, categorize them. All right, we're done. Thanks.
Yeah, and we see the end of the zombie one that that Thanos is a zombie and he
Yeah.
has the Infinity Stones. So who's to say he's not going to go to other multiverses or other universes and start eating those universes?
That's true. That'd be really interesting, honestly. Um, yeah. So that definitely creates some problems in the
You,
multiverse.
you, you think some problems? And these are supposed to be
just
considered canon.
just a few problems, just a few mild problems.
Everything's under control. There's nothing to see here. All is well.
Oh boy, interesting, very interesting.
It'd be like that scene in The Naked Gun. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Nothing to see here. And like the entire building's like burning and
Yeah.
combusting and blowing up and it's just falling all over itself. It's just mass hysteria. Everything's fine. Nothing to see here.
Exactly. So, I'm curious to see what season two will be like. There's like the new like line of What If comics as well coming up. I don't remember when those are coming up. I think it's fairly soon. I'm pretty sure it's this year. I forgot. There's some interesting ones. There's some ones that's like okay, cool I guess. But there's like something with like Moon Knight. Like I think it's like what if like Moon Knight had a symbiote or something, or like what if Moon Knight was like paired with Venom or
Oh,
whatever.
gee,
So
that's an original concept.
yeah. So
What if only Moon Knight had the Venom symbiote?
impossible. So yeah, I don't really remember. I remember like seeing a list of all of them. There's like a really there's a weird one. I forgot what it was. I want to say don't quote me on this, but there's like something about like siblings. I think it was like I don't think this is right. This can't be right, but I don't know. Maybe it is right. I thought there's like something about like what if like I'm just gonna look this up actually before I open Pandora's box. Let me see. Yeah, Parker. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, I think this actually. Yeah. What if Scarlet? Let's see. What if Wanda Maximoff and Peter Parker were siblings? It's very
I
interesting.
heard about that. That sounds
Yeah,
weird,
that's very
and
weird.
not in a good way.
I
Like,
don't. Yeah, I don't know what to do with that information. What is the story?
oh, what if we had this mutant girl who's secretly actually a sorcerer, and we have this nothing Peter Parker that accidentally gets bitten by a spider? Wow,
What if
what?
there's
Those are some weird odds.
Oh yeah, that's I. You gotta wonder sometimes where they come up with these stories are like just
I,
like pulling out of a hat. Like
I
what if Peter Parker and who's in this pile? Oh, Wanda Maximoff are siblings.
yeah, it's like going through a toy box. It's like just selecting two toys at random.
You get two toys now. What if crew? What are you choosing?
Watch, it's going to be the writer of the Ultimate X-Men who's making the story.
Oh,
Now they kiss.
they're siblings, but they're not siblings in every universe, so it's
They're
not too bad, right?
they're siblings, but they're just pretending to be kissing cousins.
It's like on TikTok, they put the hand between their lips and they're not actually kissing, they're just doing it for the views.
It's cancer. The TikTok is just cancer for the brain.
That is like mm.
That's how you develop stage 4 brain cancer. We figured out how to weaponize it. The Chinese figured out how to weaponize it. There's a reason why they don't let their citizens watch all the stupid
Protect the
stuff we
Chinese
see.
citizens. You have
You
to
know all the
protect them.
cosplay stuff that you see? There's a reason why the Chinese don't watch that.
They're simply not into cosplay, I'm afraid. And also the cancer.
Yep, it's the cancer. They figured out how to do it.
Man. Oh
This is how
no.
you invade a country. Give everyone stage 4 brain cancer.
I can't do anything about it. Oh man. Fun.
Oh, whoopsie daisy.
Oh yes.
Your Honor, my client pleads whoopsie daisy. I mean, he didn't know what he was doing with this
Yeah,
app.
it doesn't count. Yeah, it's a whoopsie daisy. It goes under the whoopsie daisy clause of 1973. It's okay. Oh yes, but are there any upcoming comic series that you are excited for, perhaps?
No.
That's yeah,
It's
I
very
could
disappointing.
I definitely feel that. What even is coming up? Let me take a look. There's like I always look at this like Marvel release calendar. And there's some interesting stuff. Like re-releases and stuff. That's cool, I guess. I haven't read the current run of Deadpool. I don't know how that is. I feel like I should, but I
Are you
don't.
talking about Marvel comics or the manga?
Oh, yeah, the Marvel comics, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I gotta wait and see how well. When's Todd McFarlane making another Spawn book?
Yeah, right. Bring Zod back. Um, yeah, I know. There's like, yeah. Let's see. There's a new like. There's two Moon Knight. Moon Knight is freaking like he's going crazy right now, which is great.
Again? Oh, gee, I never saw that coming.
You're right. Yeah. Who would have thought? There's like I think there's the mainline Moon Knight series, which is really good. It's like the best Marvel comic series going on right now, objectively, not subjectively, mind you.
Of course.
Yes. And there's also like City of Dead, which I haven't actually read. I have the first issue, but I haven't gotten to it yet. And there's like, I think there's like a one shot or something coming out, like, or maybe no, I think it might be another annual. I don't remember, but there's like another like Moon Knight thing. So it's like a big year for Moon Knight, which is very exciting. That doesn't happen very often. Perhaps possibly it's due to the popularity of the series, but I'll take what I can get. It's not become the series. It still retains its Moon Knight comic-ness, which is very nice to see. Um, but what else is actually coming out? I forget. I feel like there's like more interesting stuff coming out besides just Moon Knight. Oh yeah, there's like some more like Captain America stuff, which is cool. But I feel like Captain
I was
America.
gonna
Yeah,
I was gonna ask. I mean, it's not really new comic issue related, but it does show on the video right now that you're live streaming, archery vibes. So, what's the
ah,
theme with, or what's going on with Hawkeye, and why the hell does Kate Bishop's have her hips exposed while she's wearing a belt? How is that not
God.
uncomfortable?
It's a very, very weird design choice, I will say. I don't know what they were doing
That
when they made that.
it must cause some serious chafing.
Right? Like, oh god, I can't imagine. Like, yeah, what's going on in for waste? Yeah, that's not a comic story that we've seen. Um, what if Kate Bishop wore a sensible outfit? Maybe that should be a new what if now. What
Get
if
on it, Marvel.
no more chafing, in the waist. But that's a great question. That's a very interesting
What if
question.
Spider-Man never used baby powder?
Oh god, that would be so painful. um, oh yes. But yeah. Unfortunately, Hawkeye is canceled. No, it's not canceled. We're pretty close to the end. We've got like 11 pages left at it. It was a 73-page script, and we're almost done. The last few pages are pretty hefty, so it'll take a while. Um, but yeah, we're getting close to the end. That'll be our next full-length audio drama. It's like 24 minutes right now, I think, and it will be over wait, why did I say 24 minutes? An hour and 24 minutes. Sorry, that's much better. uh 24 minutes for a 73-page script. Each page is one line on it. No, but yeah, so we're getting close to finishing up that. I've got like some big action sequences to finish up. I just started editing one before the stream, and I've got 5, 6 pages left of that. It's a pretty hefty one. I just got through 3 pages, so it's about 9 pages, I believe. And I have like 2 more things to finish up, and then we have to do the music, and that'll be that. So that'll be fun. We also have to find artwork. We haven't done the thumbnail yet. That's why I just have this up. That's cool. Uh, yeah, I think it's like from
Well,
like Marvel has like these like really cool animated videos, like who is Matt Murdock and who are the Hawkeyes. Uh,
who's Kate Bishop's Taylor? Because they're terrible.
right? Yes. Instead of what if what's the Daredevil one? Oh, Victor, hey, how's it going? Hey,
Hey,
welcome.
you're just in time. We're ranting about how Kate Bishop has terrible sense of taste in dressing, and because she has a belt on her exposed hips.
It's very weird design
Okay.
choice.
I don't understand this.
Yes.
Is her arc in the story going to be to find a better suit that actually covers her hips from her belt?
It will be actually,
Um,
yes.
yeah. I mean, I think that's kind of just the archery template, kind of.
Well, it's
Because
wrong.
It's
yeah, she's not the only
changed
character who
everything.
does this. This is a trend.
That's
Like,
true. It is actually. Yeah.
That does not look comfortable at all. I
No.
don't know how this is appealing to people.
No. Yeah.
I can
I don't
understand the
know.
shoulder thing to where like you can like move your arms, especially if you
Yeah.
have a bow and arrow, but not yeah, your hips. When you have, I'm pretty sure some very rough material that's making your belt.
I just want to show off people's abs. Like that's usually why.
Abs are hips. Abs are
Oh,
one
yeah.
thing. That's like a dominance display. This is like, hey, everybody. Yeah, look. I hurt myself. Yeah, that's because I'm a man. I'm a big, strong boy. I'm wearing my big boy pants now that has my hips exposed.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's very interesting design choice. Um,
This genuinely bothers me.
we gotta write to the creators of Kate Bishop and see what they were doing. Ask them.
Yeah,
Ask these
and
important
young
questions.
vendors.
Yeah, right to the young event. Exactly. Yeah.
Watch,
Oh yeah, you mean this suit? Yeah, I thought
they're
it was.
gonna they're gonna like shrink the suit to where it becomes like more like shorts, and she's gonna have like a knife holster on her leg, and it's just rubbing up against her
Oh
skin.
God.
I mean, originally she did because like when she debuted in Young Avengers, she was like wearing a whole bunch of like different Avengers gear because like she was still figuring out like a costume and name.
Dear
Um,
God.
'Cause, yeah, she's just like a normal teenager joining up with like these legacy superheroes, um, simply because she knew Cassie Lang.
Yeah.
And like yeah, she did like have a whole bunch of sharp weapons and like a bow and
Oh
arrow.
my
So yeah.
God. So, okay, so remember we did the episode where we're talking about like the current state of Phase 5, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I do.
I
Classic.
recently watched Ant-Man 3.
Oh, I forgot you hadn't seen.
Yep.
How
Yeah.
are you feeling?
That
I'm feeling very upset.
Oh no. Yeah. I take it upset in a bad way, not upset like I'm so upset that I loved it so
Oh,
much. Why
oh
did I
yeah. It's one of those things where you pay to feel upset because that's what you get off on, but I don't.
It's
I was I was genuinely disturbed.
yeah, it's so interesting. Like from a variety of points and perspectives. I feel like I've come to terms with it. I think like for me, I had like a certain expectation going into it. I think I talked about this in the episode, and yeah, I didn't quite. The expectation wasn't quite what the movie was, and I feel like I had the wrong expectation. But it's just kind of funny to me if Victor, you've seen Ant-Man 3 as well, right?
I have seen, yeah.
Okay, go
I've
ahead. I
seen
wanted to spoil
Quantumania.
anything. Um,
Yeah, that was the first one I did see. I saw him
ah,
in 3, but did not see Guardians until like way later,
oh,
recently.
right.
Uh,
Uh, yeah, it's been a big year for freeze, I guess. But
it,
yeah. I just think it's kind of funny, like for me, like with Kang, like I feel like Kang for me was like one of the best parts of the movie. I liked
oh
Kang and
yeah,
I
for
like
sure.
yeah, Kang
That
and
was
Janet
awesome.
were my favorites, in the movie,
I
and
I I have to disagree with you. I liked Kang for the most part. I did not like Janet
that's fair, yeah.
at all.
No love for Janet. I find it funny though, like they
Like I
set
feel Janet was the main thing that earned the title of Ant-Man: The Lost Quantumania
it's true.
because
Yeah.
Hope certainly wasn't.
Yeah.
True. Very true.
Where's the boss? Oh, there she is. She's Michelle Pfeiffer. Hey. Yeah. Evangeline, just look in the corner. Just. Actually, we're gonna extract some lines that you were gonna say, but just look shocked. There you go.
There we
Here's
go. We
five
got it.
bucks.
We got the take. All right, we're good. Yes. Yeah, I find it funny though, like with Kang, like they set him up as like the big bad for this this coming phase and stuff like that with Kang Dynasty and
Oh,
yada
the
yada
whole
yada.
saga, but yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And they set him up. I think it's interesting, like setting him up in like an Ant-Man movie, and like having like him be defeated in the end by Ant-Man. Like he's like going on about I've killed like the Avengers in multiple timelines or whatever. He just like gets killed by
Yeah.
Ant-Man. How are we supposed to take him? Like, what does that do to his power level? Like, how can we take him as like a serious threat if
I
that
mean,
version of Kang is the main
for my
character?
logic, like for one thing, like he was tossed with like only half of his resources into the quantum realm. This is like a survivor Kang, and he has to not only has to face like multiple generations of super smart ants that have like been down in this realm, like developing intelligence and technology, but also like multiple shrinking and growing superheroes. And even then, they were all pushed to their limits in order to take him out.
It's true. It's
Please
true.
stop.
Like that really is what
You're making my
indicates
brain
his
hurt.
power, like right there.
It is a good point. You do raise a good point, but
The more
Plus,
the more I
he still have, like a
think
million for Loki. So yeah,
the more I think about it, the more it hurts.
yeah, it was interesting. I'm grateful for Guardians 3 for really being the strong, solid MCU movie this year. Yeah, that was it.
I can imagine like Thanksgiving this year, like yeah, it's Marvel Studios is like sitting at like at like an employee's Thanksgiving before they can go home because they have to put on
Yeah, I
an
should
appearance.
do that.
And it's like, so what are you guys thankful for? I'm thankful for the company producing Guardians 3.
Thank
And
you,
then like the
James
next
Gunn.
person, okay, thank you, James. He's like, don't say that name. And he's like, what about you? What are you thankful for? I'm thankful for Guardians. What are you thankful for? I'm thankful for Guardians. Okay, is anybody thankful for the other projects that we made this year? No. Do we get a raise if we say yes?
Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's
Anybody thankful for the Marvels? Everybody stay silent.
Oh man. At least we have Loki season 2 coming out. That looks really
Yeah,
good. So.
that's releasing like I think in October, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, like at the end
Yeah.
of October or something. Yeah.
Yeah, and that one, yeah, I'm gonna be like busy that year, that month. Sorry, October
That year?
Oh my god.
Later that
October the year.
later that very same year.
Another year.
My goodness.
But yeah, I'm gonna be playing some Kraven the Hunter, and yeah, enjoying some Loki.
Oh yes, right, yeah. Spider-Man 2.
No, I'm gonna be playing some Kraven the Hunter. I'm not gonna be watching it.
He's gonna dress up as Kraven to
Yes, I'm
watch
gonna
the
dress
Kraven
up.
movie.
I'm gonna
Oh,
dress up
God.
as Kraven and then play against Kraven in Spider-Man 2. I'm not gonna.
Oh,
watch the movie.
I thought you were saying like you were gonna dress up as Kraven and then go see Aaron Taylor Johnson pretend to be Kraven.
I wish I want to do that.
I think if I ever watch Kraven, I'm just gonna imagine his dad as Kraven. I'm just
Yeah, right. Like Russell Crowe.
It's gonna say no, his dad was Kraven like the whole time.
Yeah, it's like with Lex Luthor, like in BVS. Like it's Lex Luthor. It's his son.
Well, no, that's the
yeah.
excuse that like WB tells themselves.
This was totally how we wanted it to be.
Yep. Which they pulled out like twice. Like
God versus man, day versus night, son of Krypton versus Bat of Gotham.
I kind of think that they actually had him say Batman. They didn't have him say Batman.
Yeah, they never. He never said
Superman
Batman.
is shortened. No, he did say Batman. That's my point here. Like he said Batman, but he said like son of Krypton. So like, as Superman gets shortened, but Batman doesn't.
What is he on? What is his goal?
Like, is Lex on Batman's payroll? Is that how he got his money?
Oh, it's gotta be.
It's bribes.
Yes.
I wonder how many like associations Zack Snyder wanted Jesse Eisenberg to say before it got annoying, and like it cut off at Son of Krypton versus Bat of Gotham because he was going to keep saying Man of Steel versus Caped Crusader,
Dark Knight.
Up in the Sky versus the Dark Knight.
World's Greatest Detective versus Man of Tomorrow.
Exactly.
Zach, he really could have added those extra ones. It should have been in the Ultimate Edition, honestly.
Zach, make him stop. Make him stop.
Zach, please.
Special Ultimate Extended Edition.
Extended Name Edition. Oh.
Yeah, totally worth their R rating just for saying the word fuck once.
And showing Batman naked from behind, I believe, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep,
Totally worth the R rating.
Yeah.
His prison scenes.
Yeah.
That ass. Directed. That scene was directed by Joel Schumacher before he died.
Yeah. That was a very special moment that you wanted to get into the world.
Hey Ben, I'm gonna need you to get in the shower.
Anything for the art, Joel. Anything for the art.
Yeah, Ben, just listen to whatever Joel has to say. I gotta go count my money.
I remember actually seeing the extended edition for Suicide Squad, the first one.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Literally, the only thing extra of prominence was extra Killer Croc barf scenes. So
Oh yeah, that's what we
totally worth it.
Oh, and also the Harley Quinn flashback, right, where he's like,
Yep.
"I'm not a person who loves. I'm an idea."
I forgot about
Which,
that.
like,
Yeah.
it's contradictory to making it seem like they were in love in that movie. So,
Oh my god! It made it seem like
Iconic.
they were trying their best to make it seem like they're teenagers that walk that they're like mole rats that constantly go to Hot Topic, and that's where like they shop for
It's all
everything.
personality,
that's where they dress. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Hot
man.
Topic and Spencer's.
Absolutely.
Where are you getting chokers at Spencer?
Yeah, oh my god. I feel like that the Harley Quinn outfit was like they secretly partner up with Spencer's
Oh, yeah,
while they
right.
secretly partnered up with Hot Topic for the Joker.
Apparently, they only recently admitted the regret of like the damage tattoo.
Oh, really? Really?
Yeah.
Now they regret that.
Now they- after all these years.
No, it just took them replacing the franchise entirely. So now they have nothing
Alright,
to
we
lose.
regret a few things now that we don't have the franchise anymore.
You know what I should do? I should become a janitor. I should be like a really well-respected janitor to where people fear me, and I'll just have a cleaner on my head. Sanitation.
Yeah, just put sanitation on your head.
I love that.
Let people know where you are. Oh yeah, I mean, I didn't get it for Halloween as much. But for Fan Expo, when I head to Fan Expo,
Right.
I literally made it a game of like counting how many Harley Quinns I spotted. I got past 10 before even getting into the building.
God, Jesus Christ. Yeah.
Right
that
after-
was a big one.
I want to say it's either right after or right before. I have a friend, and she was like a big Harley Quinn fan, and I took as many pictures because I don't think she's ever been to a Comic-Con before, but I took as many pictures as with many Harley Quinns as I could find just to piss her off.
Oh, that's amazing.
I mean, Barbie though, like that makes sense though. Like,
Yeah.
you know, that one for one thing, it's been like a variation of outfits for generations. So, like, you know, it's been like literally that whole brand is based upon costuming. Like that's like
That's
Barbie's
true.
thing.
All the dress up and stuff like that. Yeah.
Like that's
Yep.
been the thing for years. But like for Harley Quinn, they're not creative in the effort.
It's
Like,
like, oh, we're
it's
all-
the most
Well-
uncreative costume
well,
of all time.
Most
And-
people, I've seen some very good Harley Quinn
for
costumes,
like
but
other variations of the suit from like, you know, animated films and shows
yes.
and like comics of
I-
like her history.
Oh,
But, like
actually-
when you're just doing a simplistic one from the movies, then that's when it's basic.
that is atrocious. That is unforgivable. If you
Yeah.
have, I don't care if you're doing this as a joke. I mean, I definitely would. But if you do this as a joke, unforgivable. Don't dress up in that Harley Quinn costume. No matter how sexy or
Ironically.
disgusting it makes you look. I mean, if you want to do it for ironic purposes, still shame on you. The fact that you indulge in that and that you encourage that. But yeah.
Oh yeah, like with Barbie, like there's so much variations in her suit just in the movie alone, let alone,
Yeah.
you know,
So many wardrobe
for
changes.
decades of history.
Well, I mean, with Barbie, that makes sense because like she's doing like all the costumes that they had like all over the years, but now you got like Harley Quinn. Ooh, she's supposed to be the Joker's girlfriend. She's crazy, and I guess she's slutty for
A
him.
little quirky. Yeah.
That's all little girls are to their high school sweethearts, right?
Yep, totally. They act like they're owned by them.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Because
yeah.
girls are just so crazy.
Yep. Barely.
Layla, no, don't encourage that. No, bad Layla.
We endorse them all. Bring on more.
More.
We'll destroy
No.
Barbenheimer.
Bad slut, bad.
Oh.
Oh man.
Adam, we're done. We're done now. God damn it. Have to get rid of everything.
Oh man. So if
I'll
I,
toss that.
oh, sorry, Victor.
No, that's fine.
Yeah, if I may go back to a point, I okay, I don't know. I've been seeing some theories and stuff. I remember like the first time that this character appeared in episode 3, I think. Yeah, I think it's episode 3. I meant to bring it up on the podcast, but I didn't. I don't actually. Maybe I didn't want to bring it up on the podcast. I didn't think it was relevant necessarily to what we were talking about. The last podcast that we just recorded, but it feels like a podcast right now actually. But the gangs here, the original 3. Well, I guess Steve was there for the first one, but he was only there for the first one. So I guess he's like a guest star really, but classic Steven. But anyways, yeah. So with My Adventures of Superman, there's like the guy with the long red hair. That's name is Alex. People have been like theorizing. I've seen some people say that could be the Lex Luthor of that universe. What do you guys think?
Like.
Oh gee, Alex with red hair.
Right.
Originally, I like was not going for the fan theories because I thought they were too obvious. Yeah. Plus, there is actually another Alex within Superman lore. Considering that he was introduced in a Parasite episode, I thought it was Alexander Alston, who was one of the many people to take on the name of Parasite.
That could be.
And like I thought that was like why they included him in an episode where Parasite was suddenly Anthony Ivo. But then like he kept on appearing even though Ivo had left the company, and now like Alex has this like vendetta against Superman in a very different capacity.
Superman.
Like the instant he said it like that, you know, it kind of gives off an instant red flag of someone else.
I've already considered that canon in my head ever since you said that, Victor, in that one podcast episode we did. Like that every Superman villain, that's the turn of them becoming a villain.
Yep.
I love it.
It's that petty hatred.
Yeah, just immediate petty hatred. Just Superman.
Superman.
Imagine like Brainiac at one point is like, Kal-El, you are no match for me, and then like he like it shows like how he can like move an entire planet, and then like Brainiac can't do that. Just Superman.
Just suddenly becomes an inch.
Yes. Oh, that'd be the best. Oh man. Yeah. But I'm excited to see. I hope that that series goes far. Yeah, because it's been really good so far. I'm excited for the.
It's like really good, and I hope it does get like a second season. Like that. HBO does not underestimate it.
Please don't. Yeah, I'm excited. I think like we're on the last episode, right? Like the second part of that 2-parter there. Yeah, is that the?
I think actually, maybe 2 more. Might be a 3-parter, but I'm not sure.
Oh, really interesting.
It might be 10 episodes, not 9.
That
I'm not
sure. Sense. It seems more symmetrical, I guess. More even.
Yeah. Some shows now like have been like 9-episode shows, but like some also haven't. So.
Ooh, yeah. It seems like, at least according to IMDb, it's 10 episodes. Let's see. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it is.
All right. So okay, there we go. We got 2 more episodes then. That's great. Yeah, it's always nice having like the weekly stuff is fun. Then the new Adventure Time Jazz starting up at the end of the month too, so that's cool. Yeah. So many series to watch.
Well, that's a nice transition for an extra week of content.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Do you guys think like, you know, if this does like, I'm not sure. Like, I see a lot of positive feedback to it. I'm not sure like what the numbers are like on HBO side. Do you think this will like? Oh, sorry. Go. Yeah.
Oh no, I was just giggling at the thought of HBO, and I was like, yeah, sure, that's HBO now. It's Max. Now we're just gonna next year they're just gonna be X, and then like 2 years from now they're gonna be X, and then just the 4 years from 4 years from now it's just gonna be a period.
I'm calling my lawyer.
Oh yes. But yeah, do you guys think like this will like sort of potentially spawn the universe? Maybe maybe, or will it just be like its own thing, like maybe with like
Uh,
cameos from other?
I mean, there's rumors of it being connected to Bruce Timm's new animated series, but
Oh.
like,
Interesting.
I'm
Wait.
just kind of like,
wait. As in, like, My Adventures of Superman being tied into Bruce Timm's Batman.
Oh, not that.
his new
Making
Batman,
Cape
like he's
Crusader.
doing a new thing called Cape Crusader,
Yeah.
where basically he's doing what he did with Batman the animated series, but without all the network interference when it comes to like violence and sex and stuff.
Yeah, he wanted to go hard with that. Man.
Oh, all the good stuff.
Yeah, all the stuff that people wanted from Bruce Timm, you know,
He couldn't.
after his R-rated adventure with the Harley Quinn movie.
Why can't you be more like Frank Miller?
Yep.
That movie totally warranted a rated R rating.
Yes.
Yeah. Like right now, I'm kind of less focused on the crossover element and more hoping that like it survives, despite the fact that like they reduced it to like being put on Adult Swim rather than fully marketed everywhere.
That's true.
Which is like a real shame and wasted opportunity for like
that was
amazing series.
Smart.
I have a feeling that they're just gonna play it safe and just like do like their own universe. I don't think they're gonna focus on tie-ins for a good long while because they're like thinking, maybe this multiverse thing isn't really working out all that well. Let's just do Superman and just do Batman and do nobody else for a good long while until we're good on our feet again.
Yeah, but
I mean, they're starting a universe like right away in 2025, so yeah, they're not really waiting.
That's true.
They're waiting. It's just not as long as last time.
Yeah.
That's the definition of not waiting. It's less than the time that they were not waiting to make a cinematic universe last time.
Yeah, a little faster schedule there. I honestly like cinematic universes and whatever are cool, but I also don't mind like it just like being its own thing too. Like just like it could be refreshing sometimes. Like just keeping things as their own thing, because like we have so many different universes that are fun and of varying quality, and it could be cool like seeing crossovers and stuff. But
My Adventures of Superman did the multiverse, but they weren't really like focused on being like exact with like the Earths that Superman visited.
Yeah, it wasn't like, oh, here's Batman, here's the here's the Justice Society, and oh, look at this, look at all this criminal syndicate stuff. Wow, well, it was just the characters that revolved around Superman, like with the different variations of Jimmy and Superman.
You ever notice that like whenever they try doing like an expanded universe with Superman, they never really go the long mile of actually introducing the Justice League, except for like maybe Flash.
It's interesting.
Because like from what I remember, like the animated series for Superman, Flash showed up for a race. I don't remember Batman showing up. I could be wrong about. I could be very wrong about that.
He
but
very much prominently crossed over with him.
I do remember. I do remember the World's Finest, but I'm not sure if that's considered a Superman episode.
It was, yeah.
Oh, it was.
I crossed over on his show, not the other way around. Until the new Batman Adventures.
Our boys.
Well, then there you go. I was wrong. You proved me wrong. You did it.
Yay.
But like I know with Smallville, they don't call him the Flash, but it was like I think that was Bart Allen.
They used Impulse.
What?
They used Impulse, but like he's
Impulse. There you go.
Present, and like for confusing ways, he also stole the identities of Barry Allen, Jay Garrick, and Wally West for some reason.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that in Smallville tie-in comics later, he would then meet those people.
It's like, by the way.
Because I don't remember seeing Batman. I don't remember seeing Wonder Woman. I don't remember seeing Green Lantern, but I remember seeing Dr. Fate. I remember seeing other people from the Justice Society of America.
They had the Justice Society. They had like quite a few faces in the Justice League. They were not allowed to use Batman or Wonder Woman, though.
Was there Green Lantern?
Barry Allen specifically?
Yeah, they weren't allowed to use Barry Allen, but they didn't use Green Lantern or Aquaman, right?
They used Aquaman. They did not use Green Lantern, though. That was just their choice.
That
It's
must
weird
have missed
'cause then-
Aquaman.
Jeff Johns showed up
Oh.
to direct later, so you'd think he'd want to.
Yeah, right.
Like Green Lantern's biggest fanboy to the point where it's a joke within the comics.
Oh my god, when are they finally going to do Green Lantern justice?
Hopefully with the Legends.
Yeah, maybe.
They should just make that an animated show of like
That would be
all the things. I mean, I know they made a Green Lantern animated show on Cartoon Network, but like actually
Green
get
Lantern,
into
the
like
animated series.
Yeah.
get like to the nitty gritty of it. I really want to see a Brightest Day and Blackest Night, or Blackest Night then Brightest Day.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's my theory of where the Lantern show is going, because apparently it's like the series is supposed to connect to all the other projects Gunn is doing.
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah.
that would be the project for that, Blackest Night.
Yeah.
Dude, that would be so awesome if that was their Thanos event.
Ooh.
Zombies.
Yeah, zombies that actually think instead of
It's like
being
they've
zombies.
been doing like Dark Side way too often at this point. So
True.
Yeah, they're doing Darkseid too much to where they're doing nothing with him.
that's the paradox of it.
Doing him too much, but not enough at the same time.
But you can't use that because that would be paradoxical. But wait, where am I? Wait, what's going on? Wait. Thank you for coming.
Oh man.
Poor Dark Side.
Poor Darkseid. Oh yes. Oh man. So yeah, Victor, what have you been reading? Have you been reading? I know you've been reading like the was it the Fall of X or whatever? Was there any other?
Yeah, Fall of X.
Fall-
That was like.
Oh, real quick, have you guys heard of fuck? I just had a minute. Mr. Sunday Movies.
Oh yes.
Yeah. What we
Here,
reading? What we gonna read?
Yeah. Just what I've been recently reading. Let me think. Let's see. I mean, I was continuing with stuff with like all the X, but also like some of their like times before, and now it's been Iron Man again.
Oh yeah.
It's like they drew me in originally with the whole like fact that Tony is like more involved with the X-Men stuff now.
Right, yeah.
And like part of that is
support.
He's a mutant ally.
He's a mutant. Yeah, mutant. I was gonna say cheerleader, but that works too.
I like that.
Yeah. And he's both like marrying Emma Frost, but also Tony Stark is poor and now needs her money.
Just like me.
What if Tony Stark was poor?
Yeah. Which is like really interesting because it's not really like something we like see on average with Iron Man. Like,
True.
kind of needs the iron.
What if Nightwing became a billionaire?
Nightwing is currently rich and Iron Man is poor. Reality is twisted.
Very
You know, like when like something happens in one universe and there has to be like a reverse effect. That's what happened.
That's what happened to our reality just like instantly right now. To the point where like he's like living in the sewers with like his suit. The rats are calling it their home.
Jesus. Tony.
He makes a rat basically like a Mr. Jingles from the Green Mile.
Oh goodness.
Like he's now like keeping like us safe from like mutant hunting sentinels. I like keeping her in like his rat infested Iron Man suit. Like,
He makes an Iron Man.
Either.
He makes an Iron Man suit entirely out of rats. They're friend. Like how Aquaman communicates with marine animals. He's now developed superpowers to communicate with rats.
I'd read that.
This is my latest armor, Phelan. My rat suit. You may have taken all my toys, but my rats
Man.
are everywhere.
My rats.
You know
It's
how Daredevil season 3 had Daredevil had his armor stripped away? This is Iron Man's Daredevil season 3.
Iron Man Daredevil season 3.
There's gonna be someone like Bullseye who's like on his level who takes his Iron Man suit and like it's supposed to be a metaphor of him fighting himself in the rat costume.
Oh my god.
I say I would want the Fei Wong against Tony in a rat suit.
Yes, please, Marvel, make it happen.
Or better yet, make it the Mandarin wearing the Iron Man suit while Tony Stark has the rat suit.
Because that's who he's fighting in this run currently. Is of his known as Fei Wong, runner of Orcus, an anti-mutant organization who basically legitimized, killing all those mutants.
Let's legitimize racism.
Yep, and
You're too late, Iron Man. Racism has become legal. My God. We have to go back in time and fix this.
Basically, to restore the X-Men back to their usual norms.
Oh man.
They no longer have their own form of government and policies, like legitimate business and industry.
Man.
All gone.
Dang, it's funny. The original, the first person that approached us about writing X-Men and Doctor Strange, they left. So we got two cooler people to work on those. But they were looking into like really like heavily involving Iron Man into their story too. So it's kind of funny that in the comics Iron Man is pretty important.
It was a cool idea for Tony to be in there. Like initially, I thought it was just like, oh yeah, you'd be the benefactor for like helping out the X-Men as their ally, and then like, oh yeah, no, he is not. He is poor.
Professor, why exactly is Tony Stark here? It's like, I was hoping you didn't ask, but he's kind of lost all his finances, and I'm just letting him stay here until he finds his own place.
This is what the Illuminati do now. They're just like a local E&B.
Just pretend that he's one of the X-Men until we can figure something out. The Avengers didn't let him come back.
Like literally, Tony Stark is like refusing handouts from Captain America.
This is like freaking Walter White.
He's like, no, I'm moving my rats now, Cap.
Cap keeps like taunting him just because he's gonna like tell him I told you so.
That's the real reason Tony's not accepting place to stay.
Oh.
No, I'd rather starve with the rat, Steve.
I'm my own man, Steve. I don't need your help.
I'm my own man, Steve. I've got my rats with me, and that's all I need. And then, like, Pepper is hooking up with Captain America to make him jealous, so she can say, I told you so, too. And then she also hooks up with Happy, so they're like dating in a three-way just to sell off.
Relationship with Steve.
Happy. Joke's on you. Emma Frost can take the rats.
I don't need you anymore, Pepper. I've got Emma.
No,
you don't.
Me and my rats. I think.
It'd be funny if, like, he said, I don't need you, Pepper. I have Emma Frost. She's like, Jesus, don't you shower?
There are no showers down with the rats. It was
He doesn't even live in the mansion. He's staying in the sewers under the mansion.
The only space they had in the X-Men.
You know, Mr. Stark, you can stay in the mansion. We do have spare rooms. No, I'm fine down here. I'm okay. I don't need help.
Oh, man.
I've got the rats.
If you got the rats, then
we've got more. What
can you say hi to the Morlocks for us?
Oh, by the way, Mr. Stark, if you find a very pale mutant, just don't pay him any heed.
Oh man.
We couldn't find a holding cell for Caliban, so just pretend he's not there.
Ignore him at all costs.
And like Caliban like just keeps like coming off and trying to like pick up scraps off of Tony Stark, and it's like he keeps like smelling and sniffing. I was like, ew, go away. And so he like weaponizes the rats to attack Caliban.
At this point, the Morlocks think that Tony is smellier. You.
You are not a mutant. Please stop touching me.
Oh man. So many possibilities of Tony and the rats.
That's the real spin-off I want.
Yes.
The Rat Man.
The rat man. Oh man. Oh yes, Victor, speaking of Fall of M, I haven't been keeping up with it. I feel like I think I may have almost like got the first issue when it came out, and I would have kept up with it unless if it was hella mid. But have you have you been keeping up with any of like the new Deadpool stuff recently? I know there's like a new
Well, very quickly, I'm gonna be getting off. So thank you guys for letting me come on and
yes, thank you as well for joining us.
and spout nonsense.
Always fun, yeah.
It's got it.
Yes.
Yeah, you guys chat about House of M and Deadpool and figure out how they combine.
Yes.
House of Deadpool. House of D.
Oh boy, that I would actually pay to see that. Anyway, bye. You guys have a good night.
Bye. You too. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for joining us. Oh, he's gone. Okay. Oh yes. But yeah, have you read any of like the new Deadpool stuff? I know they're like on issue 10 or something. Like that's coming out soon. But yeah.
Yeah, I've checked out like some of what has been going on with like Deadpool. Like, I'm like one of the oddly most wholesome books right now.
Oh, really? Interesting. That's very interesting. Huh.
Yeah, from what's been going on there. Like, with Deadpool, like for one thing, he's now like in a major like serious relationship. So yeah.
Oh
like,
yeah. Oh, that's exciting.
With this like assassin with like these like syringe fingers.
Oh, I think I've seen that character before actually.
Like Valentine.
Oh man.
Yeah. Like a non-binary assassin. Like Deadpool is being hunted down in it, which is like sort of the non-wholesome part. Like when is he not? Like,
Sure, that's very true.
So there is that part, but like like it's like a traditional kind of like and for him like not really like anything particular to Deadpool, but normal for like another kind of superhero content of just being a lot more hopeful of a storyline for Deadpool. Like he does like have hope of situations looking up and him having a partnership he can rely on.
Oh, that's sweet. He's made it. That's quite awesome. Wow. Yeah. I
just hope he doesn't erase his memories of this one.
Oh no. Yeah. Yeah, that's that's right. Yeah, wait, yeah, she's gonna do the yeah, like the Hitman like love story or whatever. Yeah, that's right. I almost forgot about that.
Yeah, Valentine.
Yeah. That's funny. And they're doing that now in the comments. Not. Wait, why did I say comments? Comics. Yeah, they're doing that.
Get down in the comments. Write your latest X-Men done.
Deadpool issue 11 in the comments right now.
Yeah, just write the latest issue.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yes, yeah. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I have to look into that. I have to check out the. I think there's probably a pretty sizable amount of those on Marvel Unlimited. I don't have Marvel Unlimited right now, but I'll definitely resubscribe later. I'm too busy to read a lot of comics, sadly, right now. So I'll have to do that when I'm not busy. But yeah,
No, and I can too. No worries there.
yeah. But yeah, I definitely curious to see what's going on with Deadpool there. That sounds quite exciting. They also like online. There's like I don't know, like there's probably like multiple channels that do it, but there are channels. I don't know. Like there's a lot of like comic dubs out there, which is cool. But there's always like a period of like separation where they don't typically like adapt like or dub like new comics. But there are channels out there that
Yeah, I
do.
mean, like, it's like they like compiling a given run together. That way,
Yeah,
they can
yeah,
tell it as a
exactly.
complete narrative.
Yeah, exactly.
Um, which, I understand because I remember the days where they did like dub them issue by issue, and those were annoying
Yeah, it's like all right, wait for the next
because
issue.
it's just like you're kind of just like paused in the middle of it, and like the worst edited two-parter of all
Oh
time,
no.
where just like things are just stopped in the middle because the issue stopped there in the middle, but not because like
Uh,
characters actually did.
oh yeah, that's always tragic. Yeah, waiting for the next one and then like oh yeah, not things not working out. Um, like I guess like more broadly and less specifically to oh I saw those eyes there, Miss Scott.
Yep,
But,
we all saw
yes.
see everything.
How's it going? Yes. Um, what was it? Yeah, with COVID and stuff, there's like some. I sort of like lost track of comics for a little bit with COVID. Like I meant to read all of Marvel's X was going on. It was like a prequel to Earth X, with Alex Ross and whatnot. He didn't do the art, but he did
Yeah,
write the story, I
I
believe.
knew there was a resurgence for that one. I just did not know where it came
Yeah,
from. Like,
yeah, it was interesting. I think they had like a whole like thing planned, but I don't think it ever happened. Like they're like gonna be more. I don't know, but they finished up the series though. I believe I think it's just like a 5 issue series. I only read the first two, and then COVID happened, and I didn't go to the comic shop and for a while. And I'm back. I go monthly now as much as possible. Which
understandable. Like,
yeah, um,
I'm probably gonna do so like in between, in October because I have a
oh
bunch of free vacation days. So I want to
oh
like spread my wings, go out to see the world and stuff.
oh, that's fair.
In between seeing the world of Craven the Hunter's
Oh,
eyes.
yes, of course, of course. Oh, that sounds like a fun time. Um, yeah, there's like this like Gwen Stacy series from like
Oh
2020.
yeah,
I was so sad because like I really wanted to read more of that, and I wanted Marvel and Woman is like I was like oh
yeah,
I read issue one when it came out, and then COVID happened. I didn't read issue two, and I was like all right, they probably made more of those, and I went on. I was like there were like 3 issues planned, and they made two. I was like no, I was so sad because I
yeah.
wanted to read
It's
more.
kind of weird because like some like went on for a number of issues for like whole volumes, and then
Yeah.
some when Stacy rewatches just got like 2 or 3 issues, and that was it.
Yeah, that was so sad. Oh, I guess they made it to 3. Yeah, there's
Yeah, they did make it to
three.
3.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, that's at least something. That's good. Um, I don't know how the third one ends. I've only read the first one, so uh, I didn't read them because I didn't read the rest. So I feel like I was gonna get heartbroken and like, oh, why didn't this continue? But yeah, that's it's a shame whenever stuff like that happens. I was also reading that there's like this Doctor Doom, um, 10 I think it's 10 issues series by what's his name? Is it like Christopher Cantwell? I know his last name is Cantwell. I don't remember if his first name is Christopher or not. Let me see. Um,
Yeah,
we
I
share
wonder why you would think that that was his name.
yeah. Wherever could I get that name? Let's see. Christopher. Yeah, it is Christopher Cantwell. Okay, cool.
Okay,
He recently did
doesn't
a.
have ego.
Yeah. Thank goodness, I'm cleared of that. Um, he recently did the. Oh, I didn't realize he does TV stuff too. He did Paper Girls, which was like, what
Oh,
was that?
nice.
Uh, Prime's Stranger Things kind of different
Yeah,
stuff, but sort of like similar vibe, I
yeah.
suppose, in a sense. I
And
know.
that's kind of the description with any TV show, just like, If we can't make a new original concept, let's just
Same.
tell audiences it's that thing that they like
Yeah.
for our network.
Yeah, exactly. Um, yeah, Christopher Cantwell, he did the new Hellcat series, which has been pretty solid. I haven't read the final issue, but
Yeah.
the other ones have been pretty good. Um, I think he did something for the Moon Knight, like Black, White, and Blood or whatever thing. Um, oh, Gold Goblin as well, apparently.
The black, white, and red gimmick has been a thing for a bit now. Which it's a cool style. I just it depends on where it's used and how like creative you are selectively with how the style works.
True. Yeah, that's true. Um,
Like if it's like mostly black and white images, but like only inserting some red in there for the hell of it, like not being too stylized with it. Then
that's true. Yeah.
sometimes like with DC versus vampires, they literally made it just for one separate spin-off volume, and that was it.
That's funny.
I'm just like, you think you'd make the whole series of DC versus vampires looking like this?
Yeah, right. But I guess not. That would have been really cool. Yeah, but nope. It didn't want to be cool. That cool, I guess. Um, yeah. He did a Doctor Strange run back in 2020. We actually talked about it in the last live stream with Sir Sunman. He was on there, and I never read all of it. I think I have the first 4 free issues. I think it was right when COVID started. Actually, I think I have them like close by. Let me see. Real quick, let's see, where are they? In the stack. Oh, right here. Let's see. What is this? Yeah, I had one. Oh, I have up to 4. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I don't think I read them. I think I read the first one, but for some reason I never read the rest. Or maybe I did. I just don't remember. I don't know. But I remember like being excited for that series, and then I never read the rest because of COVID. It got cut off. The series did come out. The rest of the series came out, which is great. But I heard apparently from Sir Sunman the ending isn't very good, so maybe I didn't miss anything. But I don't know. I guess that's for me to judge, I guess, and read all of it maybe.
Yeah. Personally, yeah, I decided like yourself really, because like all opinions are right in their own way based on taste.
Yeah, that's true. All subjective.
As discussed earlier.
True to everybody, true to themselves, and so maybe I'll like it. Maybe it'll be like my favorite Doctor Doom run or something like that. So we have to give that a shot. The rest of it.
Yeah, sometimes I do just like challenge myself against others. Just I don't know. I have spider pettiness. Just going like, oh yeah, everyone hates this book. Well, I'm gonna read it.
I'll read it anyway. I'll show you all.
And sometimes, well, you showed me right. Or and sometimes it's just like, no, actually, this is all right.
Yeah, you never know what you may discover. Yeah, there's so many. That's what I love about Marvel Unlimited. I wish we were sponsored by Marvel Unlimited. That'd be like the best sponsorship for this channel.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly, I don't think so. But
I do like it quite a bit. I did the free. I think I had a month of it. But I think it was like in June, I believe.
I think I took advantage of like some of their free issues once because I'm that kind of cheapskate. But
oh yes. Yeah. Oh. Let's see. How long do you think this is gonna last?
Yep.
If you could end up joining once my earbuds charge. That's a good question. Yeah. We have been going on for 2 hours. We usually end in 2 hours. But do you have to be anywhere, Victor? Or are you all good?
I'm all good for now. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think we could go on for another 30 minutes if you want. Yeah.
Yeah, that should be all right for my time for garbage at this point.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, the reason I wasn't in the previous part of the stream was just I was watching Ahsoka.
Oh yes.
That was what I was doing the first hour.
Oh, definitely worth it. Oh yes. Yeah, Marvel Unlimited though. Yeah, I love like just like it has such a wide collection. Like it has like so many comics, like old, new comics,
Yeah.
fairly new. Like it updates. Like oh hey Kira, how's it going?
Hey.
Welcome to the stream.
Hello.
Hey, glad to have you here.
Yep.
Oh yes.
I'm totally not editing a script for something that I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about.
Oh.
Nah, it's relatable. Don't worry. I literally restrain myself on streams all the time when it comes to
yes.
that.
Only. If you-
Can't tell the peoples yet.
Oh,
You mustn't know.
yes. Forbidden. Secret.
Yep.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Marvel Numbers is really fun though. Like, I
Oh, yeah.
I was like, there's like, it's pretty cost effective, I suppose. Like, it's sort of like, would you rather like buy one movie for like $20 or like a million movies
Yeah.
for like how much ever like a streaming service? It's kind of like that sort of mindset.
Like that's the streaming model that works though, because like you're literally separating among like two typically.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not like Image is as big to like get into the game with the Image Unlimited service or like all your Invincible needs or
Yeah, that's very true. It's sort of fun exploring things that I've never read before. Like I've never read the original run with Winter Soldier, so that was fun reading that. That's really good. Actually, I have because I realized that I had like some of the volumes of that like on my shelf, but I never like realized. I don't think I ever got to like the part where like, actually, I don't really know like. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know what issues that those two volumes cover, but I guess I just didn't understand when I was a kid. I just didn't fully just like understand like, oh, there's some missing pieces to this story that I
Yeah. I didn't really either. Like I just assumed I had everything in some arrogant manner when like
right.
a full pile of comics were just like
Everything is here. Every
like
comic ever.
on sale that I got.
Oh
And
yeah.
like I quickly discovered like editor's notes, like knowledge of characters that like have other stories, like were indeed a thing.
The thing that I found about Marvel Unlimited that I really appreciated was I recently like got really hardcore back into Star Wars. I was like, dang, I'm not going to be able to.
Oh yeah, those are awesome.
Yeah, I was like, dang, I'm never going to be able to read any of the like Legends comics. And then I looked it up and I was like, oh, that's all of them. Huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Truly is.
Yeah, I like read a whole bunch of the Dark Force stuff with like Cade Skywalker and stuff like way back in the day. So I wasn't really like missing it. I was just looking forward to some new stuff.
Yeah.
Like Marvel doing some Star Wars books now.
Oh yeah, that's pretty exciting. Back in like 2015 or something, they like kicked off their Star Wars line. That was pretty fun. They're still going.
Especially considering that they're like doing it with newer characters. So,
yeah.
I need to read the rest of the 2017 Darth Vader comic. I read like the first issue, and I'm not caught up.
Oh, so good. Yeah, I don't remember if I've read all. I think I may have read all of them. I haven't kept up with Star Wars comics too much, but I should go back and read a lot of the ones that I missed. But they have like a lot of like really cool stuff, like the character focused ones and whatnot, and like I love how they have like series in between movies. Like you have the ones in between A New Hope and Empire, and then like Empire and Return of the Jedi and stuff. It's really cool.
I really like a lot of the prequel era stuff that they were doing because I feel like that era doesn't
Star
really...
Wars Yoda. Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah. I don't think the era really gets expanded on much anymore outside of like
Clone Wars, for sure.
That ended a couple years ago. And so like it's just kind of nice to get more content with characters while they're in that era.
Yeah. I think the motivation mainly came from like the High Republic of like going closer to before the Clone Wars for information and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I've been collecting a lot of the like direct post Return of the Jedi books lately. Like I've gotten like the first four like X-Wing novels and stuff. I've been trying to like rebuild my collection. So like the comics being there, I'm like, yay, I don't have to buy these.
Yeah. Thank goodness.
Yeah, it's certainly handy.
Yeah. Yeah, like like those runs you really want to read, but they're like there's like they have like collections of like old Moon Knight comics, for example, that are like $35 or something on Google Play or whatever. Which I guess like, yeah, it's a lot, but they're all on unlimited. So it's like don't need that. I'm all good.
It really helps, especially if you're trying to collect like super long running series. Like right now, it's kind of hard to get a hold of Amazing Spider-Man because they're only like a couple of volumes into like the Masterworks reprints, and like all of the ones after that until the most recent ones are all like $100 each.
I feel like how we've been having more collections and omnibuses though.
That's true.
I'm glad they're kind of giving a bit more focus to Hulk in terms of a lot of the stuff I've seen. Bruce, my boy, and always will be.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
I'm really looking forward to the pre-order for Volume 3 that they're doing, which is like the last half of, not the last half, I think like the middle portion of the Tales to Astonish years, like when Abomination, all that.
Hey, that is exciting. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I think it comes out in a couple months.
Oh, wow! I didn't realize that actually it's coming out so soon. That's exciting. We got ROM as well, which is cool. Like the ROM collected.
Oh, yeah. When I popped into the stream chat for a bit, I was going to jokingly ask if everyone was planning on doing a ROM Space Knight audio series.
Yeah, I do remember that question coming in.
ROM. Classic ROM.
Yeah.
It would unironically be pretty hype.
Yes. Gotta get that ROM action. Man. Yeah, it's Marvel Unlimited really is nice though for like catching up with stuff like you said, the long running series. Like they have like all of that there, nice and orderly. Well, sometimes like there's like annuals that can get like, oh, this takes place here. It's like but you have like the random like issues. Like for example, the first run with Winter Soldier is like at a time where Marvel is like doing a lot of big events. Like you've got, of course, like it's building up the Civil War. Is like its last it still goes on after Civil War, but if you haven't read Civil War, things change after Civil War for Cap. But and so the series changes a little bit after that. But it's like intersected between House of M and Civil War, so there's like a random like House of M tie-in issue that has like nothing to do with the overall story. It's like a few sentences. It's like, oh, what is this doing here?
I just love that.
Marvel tie-ins are something else because I feel like I'll be trying to read up on like one of the more recent events, and then all of a sudden I'm just like, what's happening? Where am I?
Right? Exactly. Yeah.
And the time will toss you any which way, which it depends on if you're reading those adventures concurrently, which sometimes I do put in the research for, and sometimes I don't.
It's a bit easier to read them while they're actively happening. Yeah. Like I feel like that's kind of how it is with stuff like annuals or anything with like any series, because it's getting hard for me to keep track of when the annuals happen for the Amazing Spider-Man.
It's also why I appreciate the new omnibuses is because like they include the tie-ins like like in a pretty impressive manner. So I do appreciate that.
That is.
Oh yeah.
So good. Like the new Moon Knight series, the McKay run. I think there's 3 volumes. I think the newest volume just came out recently. It's like 12 to 18 or something like that. Issues 12 to 18. And yeah, those are like, it's great because like there's an annual. I forgot where it takes place, but it's like around like. I don't remember where it takes place, but it was like around like 13 or 11 or something like that. And that's in there. It's like where it would be, and there's like a tie-in with what's that one event, like Devil's Reign or something like that. There's like some Moon Knight's like tie-in that like also connects to the McKay run. That's also like, without that you would just be like trying to figure out where that fits in, but it like places it perfectly. So I love those volumes and omnibuses that like it's all there and all like you don't have to worry about reading it out of order. It's all perfect. So I love that.
Oh, my favorite volumes that do stuff like that are the Immortal Hulk volumes, where like not the omnibus that hasn't come out yet. There's like these collections of like 10 or so issues at a time, and they included like some stuff from like whatever the current Avengers run was because it tied in with it. And I appreciate stuff like that because I feel like if I didn't read those, I wouldn't understand what was happening.
Yeah, right. That's very helpful. I do. I love that. Yeah, that's very helpful. So that's I do like the reading guides for Marvel and Unlimited. They have like a few different. Well, they have a lot of reading guides. Especially for the big events because there's like some of those. There's like 100 issues of whatever. So it can be hard. Like especially with like Secret Invasion or like Civil War. There's like a bunch of like random tie-ins and stuff like that with all the difference. Like there's like a big Iron Man run going on at the time too. So there's like Iron Man stuff and yada yada. But yeah, I love that the omnibuses like that really just gives you the full context. So you don't feel like see issue 57 of whatever. It's like what are you talking about? It's like it's right there. Okay, we're good.
The ghost of Stan Lee from Beyond the Grave telling you to read more Marvel comics that you won't understand.
Speaking inside your mind.
You're just like it's like that star and it says like go to issue whatever of the Amazing Spider-Man to read this and you're like who put that there, and in your head you just hear Excelsior.
Oh, it's beautiful. Oh my goodness. Oh yes. So yeah. On a semi-random topic, because we were, talking about Star Wars and stuff. I know that Victor said that he's watching Ahsoka, but have you seen any of Ahsoka yet, Kira?
No, I've been planning on rewatching Rebels for a while now because I watched.
That's a smart move, yeah.
Yeah.
I watched most of it when it was coming out, but then I fell off of it because I think high school started around then.
Oh yeah.
But now that I'm not in high school anymore, I actually have.
Yes. Oh, it's always an advantage of not being.
I need to catch up on The Mandalorian too. I've only ever seen. I'm just like so. I guess my main goal is to kind of like read a bunch of legends because I kind of grew up hearing about it in passing. I was like, oh yes, the Solos have like several kids and not just this one apple that they have. This one apple that shows up from time to time.
There ends up being some setup from The Mandalorian that ties in with Ahsoka, at least in the episode that she appears in.
I know a bit about that episode, like vaguely. I've seen some of the trailers for Ahsoka, and seeing a bunch of the animated characters in live action is really weird to me, especially like with that specific art style, like the Rebels art style.
It is true.
Yeah, they had a very distinctive style, recapturing like Off McQuarrie's type of designs for the original Star Wars concept art. Like that was one that they were going for.
Yeah.
I saw like the little teaser that they released. I think it was like the last one they did, and you see Ezra in it, and I was like, "Ooh, that doesn't look right."
It is very. It's like a weird feeling. It's like you get a sense of nostalgia because I also watched Rebels when it was first airing. Yeah, I wasn't like huge on Rebels at first. Like season 1, I wasn't like sold because it's like where's Clone Wars, but season 2 was like when I really started getting into it. But now I rewatched it like a few years ago. I was like, okay, season 1 is actually really good. It gets better.
It's underrated.
Yeah, season 1 is solid. Yeah, it's really good.
It's like, speaking of that nostalgia, it is kind of weird for me to think about it because like I feel like it's kind of like the only Star Wars I really paid attention to as it was coming out. Revenge of the Sith came out like when I was 2. I didn't really keep up with the Clone Wars because I didn't have cable for the most when it was airing, and I didn't know when it aired. So I was kind of a Nickelodeon kid for at least that period of time. So I didn't really watch Cartoon Network at that point. And so Rebels was kind of the first thing I watched because I didn't really care for the sequels because the moment that I was like, oh man, I grew up hearing all this cool shit about Legend when it's not canon anymore. Damn it. I'm not invested.
Oh, I definitely, I feel that. It makes me feel kind of old because I remember like actually seeing Revenge of the Sith in the theaters. I was only 6 years old, but I do remember like just very vague memories of like being sad like at the end and whatever, and like I guess I enjoyed it. I don't know. I'm sure I probably did.
I was young enough when Revenge of the Sith came out that because I didn't remember it, I thought that they came like the prequels came before the original trilogy because I had no like reasonable way of knowing. Like I didn't know that like Luke was a newer character. Wasn't a newer character than.
Yep, Luke just came out last week.
Yeah, I was like, man. I was like, man, Hayden Christensen's a really good Anakin. Mark Hamill has a lot to live up to as Luke.
Yep.
Oh,
it took me about
Mark Hamill. You know, he has a lot to work up to.
Yeah, for real. It took me until I was about 7 to find out.
Oh, that is so funny. I love that.
I mean, I found out right away on that one, but like still watched the prequels first, actually. But yeah.
Oh. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, that's I have like vague memories. This is really young. I remember like I had this like Qui-Gon figure that like the arms kept on falling off, so we had to keep on regluing Qui-Gon's arms. But yeah, it's okay.
Like, Anakin was my hero for like, you know, all my childhood, despite murdering all those kids.
Right.
Yeah, what a hero!
Yeah,
Hero.
such a great hero.
Like, mainly from the Clone Wars.
I remember as a kid, I watched Empire like way after I watched the prequels, and I saw that, and the big scene happened. I was like, did they not already know that Vader was his dad?
I've known this for so long. Are they behind?
I was kind of mad. I don't know why. I was like, damn, they're treating their audience like idiots. I'm a kid. I'm smart.
Oh, that's I love that perspective. That's so funny. It's yeah. So it's really interesting. Just like watching Ahsoka, just like that nostalgia for like the characters from Rebels, but like seeing them in like a new way is like really trippy. Like just like seeing them in live action, like it's like almost like perhaps like an uncanny feeling. It's like like I've seen these people before, but it's like but they're different though too.
The presence I've not felt since.
Exactly.
Doesn't elaborate. You know what? I think I realized partially why I thought that the original trilogy came out after the prequels. I think it's because as a kid, I was like a really big fan of the Force Unleashed games, so I just kind of assumed that they made games like right after the prequels, just to foreshadow the original trilogy, which is kind of ridiculous, but it's funny.
Oh, I love
it. Oh man, as much as like denial cases are made on the Force Unleashed of just like, you know, recanonize the Force Unleashed, it's like, yeah, those were never canon. Unless you really want to like be in massive denial that Star Killer slaughtered the Marvel, like the entire Star Wars universe, and like somehow they just went on like nothing happened after that.
I still like to go with the idea that he was like a random offshoot Inquisitor, like because I know that Dave Filoni wanted to include him in Rebels, but then he was like, nah.
Yeah, they did.
Man.
Yeah, that was like a thing that like they wished to do, but didn't actually manage to.
Yeah.
That is more manageable, like lowering his power to just be like this Inquisitor that's like really close to Vader.
God, but like I guarantee the only reason they killed him at the end of the first game is it wasn't for like emotional impact. They were just like, we cannot have him exist during this time period.
Thank God, Vader. Vader, it's okay. We can live. We barely made it out of our lives, Vader.
It's like if you're looking at Legends canon, like New Hope takes place like a couple of years after The Force Unleashed. If he were there during like the Battle of Yavin, he'd just be standing on that moon and he'd like pull the Death Star out of the sky or some stupid shit.
Got it all taken care of, guys. You can go home now.
It's ridiculous. It's not even fair. Like if we were there, then Luke wouldn't even be the main character of the original trilogy. It'd just be him. They cannot logically have him be there. The rebellion would have won in the first movie, and that would have been a hit.
Oh man, that'd be so funny. That'd be funny, like an alternate, just universe, just like having that happen. Oh goodness.
Even with someone who wasn't as powerful like Ezra, they knew they had to like toss him off somewhere.
Yeah. Like he couldn't be there either. Like that's insane. They had to come up with a reason why Thrawn wasn't involved. So they were just like, "Oh, he fucked off to like another corner of the galaxy."
For him, he was just like too smart. They had to toss him just for being too intelligent.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no. Like the original trilogy crew are like smart, but if they had to deal with Thrawn during the original 3 movies, they'd all be dead. They'd die.
Yeah, that'd be so.
It's a miracle they scrape by in Legends continuity like 5-6 years afterwards.
Yeah, that one was far looser in terms of like their reasoning for why Thrawn was not in the original trilogy. Of just going, "Oh, the Emperor was afraid of my brilliance."
Of course, Ron, of course.
That was before we really knew anything about the Emperor, so I imagine that like they were just trying to like build him up as some like stupid lunatic who didn't even know what he was doing. And I think that's really funny. I kind of
Then too much material came out to really justify that now.
True. There's like the comic from like a little bit ago. Like that was, I feel like that's longer than I remember it being, but I don't think I ever read all of that, but I remember that being really interesting. Yeah, Thrawn. It's great to have Thrawn back in animated form and now live action too. So that's cool.
I do have to go, but it was nice talking to you all. I figured I'd drop in and like participate for a bit.
Oh yes, well thank you very much for joining. Always great having you.
Well, have a good rest of your day, y'all. I'll see you.
See you. Bye. Thank you again. All right, and then there were 2 once again.
Yeah, that just be it.
Oh yeah.
We're watching my sister beat the hell out of Stormtroopers and Force Unleashed. Yeah, yeah. I think my favorite move was less beating them individually, but rather like dismissively force pushing them repeatedly into a room, like basically the hallway slam. I'm just like, this room be dead.
Oh, so much.
I just spammed the force push button.
Oh man, yeah, I
Like,
remember just
it was
like
always effective.
yes, so very effective. That was like the most violent game I played as a kid. I remember just like I felt like I really like felt like I was darker like in the moments of playing those games. Like, man, this is violent. Oh my god, like this is
Turning me to the dark side.
Yeah, I am unleashing the dark side. Oh yes.
Almost like the force, it's being unleashed.
Yeah, right. Just like a certain game, perhaps.
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say like the latest Star Wars game series of like Jedi Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor succeeded in replicating that feeling with the dark side moves of the sequel. Because like I just felt like I was flashing back to being a Star Killer once again.
Oh, true. Yeah, I do like that. Yeah, that's yeah. I'm curious to see how long it'll take before we see Cal in live action. Because of course, like naturally, what's his name, Cameron. Looks exactly like Cal because they of course modeled him off similarly to Force Unleashed with Sam. So that's kind of funny. Like, yeah, like let's bring that back. So I'm sure we'll probably see him one day in live action, like in a series or something. That'd be really cool.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I guess depending on what happens with him though, because like I actually haven't played Jedi Survivor, so I played the Fallen Order was great. I like that quite a bit.
Oh yeah, so, Survivor is amazing. Like, yeah, definitely enjoyed playing through that one.
I gotta.
I help but feel that some plot details of the new Ahsoka series took some stuff from this game, but yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, that it's good. They do like having the maps to like locate people like with the Force Awakens as well with Luke's map, trying to find the other piece or whatever. So that's kind of funny.
Yeah, that part was more like influenced from like Force Awakens, but like the place Ahsoka goes to is more influenced by like the Zepho.
Yeah, true. It's off the sort of the Dathomir witch stuff. Yeah, it's cool.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah, yeah, but yeah, excited to see where Ahsoka goes. Yeah, that was a great time watching that. Dave Filoni rarely disappoints. He really knows what he's up to and stuff. So,
That's what he's
um,
doing.
yeah, yeah, he's quite the champ. So, yeah, very excited. It's been a pretty solid year for Star Wars. With let's see,
Oh, yeah.
Andor came out this year, right? I believe, yeah, that was this year.
Uh, I think it was this year.
Yeah, it's weird. Like
Sure.
time is very weird. I don't. It feels like half a
Time
year ago
is.
feels like a year ago to me sometimes. Oh, it was 2022, but I think it ended in
You
2020.
blame me for thinking that October was a whole year.
Yeah, right.
No, no, it was last year.
Yeah,
But yeah.
yeah, 2022.
Yeah.
Okay, so last year and this
Yeah.
year we're solid for Star Wars with
Yeah.
with
Yeah,
yeah, Andor and yeah stuff.
this year it was just The Mandalorian
Yeah,
season 3 and with Ahsoka
yeah.
now as well.
See, Bad Batch, was that also last year or is that this year? I'm
Oh yeah, that one was this year.
yeah, that was yeah, there we go, yeah, this year, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, that was pretty great. There's some good episodes, but there were like some really really great episodes. There were like a few, especially those like wow, this is like some of the best episodes of the series so far. So yeah, that was a pretty solid season.
Yeah. It's solid intense sequences there. So
Yeah.
I definitely enjoyed like Star Wars this year. Definitely an amazing combo.
Yeah, oh my god, yeah, there's some good episodes of Mandalorian season 3. It wasn't I personally didn't like it as much as the first two seasons, but I do feel like there's some really great episodes there though. There's some cool stuff
Yeah,
going on there with the finale.
it's still like super fun. You don't need
Yeah.
Luke every season.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Um
I think for Cal Kestis, the reason that they gave for why he hasn't tied into anything just yet was apparently like the game development for like where he takes place within a given point in the timeline. Like these games take a while to get made, so like
yeah,
they're
that's true.
that reason is apparently why that they haven't done that yet.
That makes sense. Yeah, they also probably don't want to shoot themselves in the foot and potentially like, oh, we're gonna have
Yeah.
something happen, but now we have to work with the continuity or whatever of like whatever's been established. So
They're crunched the entire game.
yeah, exactly. So I don't know how like Jedi Survivor ends. I'll find out one day when I play it, but yeah. So I don't know if like there's like any sort of like setup for like another one, like a make it a trilogy or whatever. Um,
Yeah, they are like making a trilogy out of this.
Oh, okay.
For sure.
That's exciting then. Yeah. So I imagine that maybe when they're done with a trilogy, maybe that's when after that, maybe that will be when Cal appears. Like, oh, his story is done in the games, possibly. Like, not necessarily that he dies, but they just like, like in Batman Arkham, like he doesn't die at the end, but he's like, yeah, this trilogy is done. But yeah, it could appear elsewhere too. Like, I could see Star Wars is very much like James Gunn, like, is trying to like do this too with like bringing characters to life through animation and through live action and whatever else too, and trying to have that be as consistent as possible, which is cool. I feel like Star Wars does that a lot too. They have different people play different characters sometimes. Like of course, like
They do that a lot
Yeah,
for Star Wars, and it works because it's a vast galaxy. But for what Gunn's doing, I'm kind of worried of the idea of games, particularly
yeah.
being added to the DCU, because then like
Yeah.
any character that you bring into the game, like they're not getting a solo live action project like for until this DCU is over.
Yeah.
Their content is exclusively going to be in the gaming sphere, tying into whatever your latest movie is.
It's interesting. It's an interesting concept, but yeah, I do agree that I like the idea, of course, like the shows and movies and stuff like that. I think that's cool.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah,
that's always been done with DC, so
yeah, exactly.
That's fine.
So that's cool. But games, it's cool, but I don't know. I don't really like. I guess I'll have to see how it goes. But yeah, I definitely see your points there. Yeah, that I don't.
Everyone brings up Star Wars, but it's not like Cal Kestis had a full movie franchise beforehand.
Exactly. Yeah. So there's that. Yeah, but yeah. So I'm curious to see how that will go. But I'm excited to see what all happens with James's universe, because there's a lot of potential there, and James is a director and a creative person with creative vision and whatnot. He's quite talented with all of his different various projects that he's written and directed over the years, and of course, like, delivering on quite a popular and quite a well received Marvel movie when the MCU isn't as well received as it used to be, sadly.
Yeah.
For now, at least, there's hope for the future, but there's sort of
I still believe that we might still get successful Guardians films even after, because it was set up rather well for that.
Yeah, I could see that, like somebody else taking the new team or whatever, and like of course we got like Star-Lord and stuff too, coming back, but so that'll be cool to see. And it sounds like Marvel's really been like looking at what they've been doing and have been like reevaluating and seeing where things maybe didn't quite work so well. Like I remember like seeing something about like them reevaluating like the 6-episode formula, which is nice.
Yep.
I do like that because
I appreciate them taking that into consideration, even if the CEO isn't.
They're not just like, we're doing everything right and you just have to like it. They're actually like, I feel like, for, Feige sometimes gets flack or something like that, but I feel like he's pretty great. He still is great. Like he was great in the beginning. He still is great now and willing to like take a look at things, take a step back and see what works and what doesn't, and really shows just a level of care for what he and the others have really helped create over so many years. So he's not just like riding high like we're still gonna make a bunch of money, but he's actually
no matter what I toss out, I can give you guys a 3D E-Man film and you'll eat it up.
Yeah, so he really shows that he still cares and he still is a valuable person to be in charge and to steer the ship, that he hasn't lost his way or anything like that. So that's really good to see. And I feel like, the 6-episode formula can work. Like I feel like with Loki, it's like the most consistent series.
Yeah, it's good for an event, for sure, when you feel like it is like a self-contained thing that like has all its chops on what it plans on doing, but like it's not a model that works for every series that you're doing.
Yeah, exactly. So the Loki feels like it's the most consistent. It has to be something different every episode though, but it doesn't feel like that necessarily hinders the story. It works well. Same with like Moon Knight. Moon Knight has the same thing where it has to be something different every episode, but it works. It's not, you have the dividing factor of it not being like the comics, and this is the first like live action Moon Knight thing we've had, so of course this being the one that we got and not being incredibly accurate to the source material.
Not entirely, but still providing some foundational elements, which is at least a good start. But
so
complete.
It ruffled some feathers from the Moon Knight fans, but there's still a lot of fans of the series, so I feel like for what it is, it's
I hope we can bridge both by the time we get to stuff like Midnight Suns.
Yeah, I really hope so too. Like they've got such a good setup for that. Like they have like at the end of Eternals, like you have like Black Knight, you have Blade in London, you have Moon Knight is currently in London right now too, I believe. So it's like, there you go. You got your team already getting assembled. Easy. Same geographical.
You got the Werewolf by Night, also Bloodstone, and Man-Thing as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Old Ted.
Yeah, so that'd be really cool. I hope they do that soon. Well, they'll probably do that after Blade, I'd imagine. But that'd be
definitely cool. His movie is gonna be like the setup material for that, the Iron Man 2 of that specific team, probably.
Yes, I could definitely see that. That'd be really amazing.
Like how Spider-Man Homecoming didn't have to worry about being the origin story because there was already previous Spider-Man movies, there's already previous Blade movies. So.
Exactly. Yeah, they can just get to the nitty-gritty and go for it. Yeah, so that's beneficial.
Awesome to the deep end.
Oh man, that's gonna be exciting. I feel like it. Yeah, the 6-episode formula can work, but it definitely doesn't work for everybody. Like if Daredevil came back in those 6 episodes, depending on the story they tell, it could work, I guess. But just the fact that we have 18 episodes, like that's exciting.
Yeah, for I think the rumors are either they're gonna do 18 all at once in 2 parts, or that it's like 3 new seasons of Daredevil that are like split
Oh,
across 18 episodes. But
interesting. Okay, I didn't actually realize that. That is really
yeah,
interesting. Cause yeah, 18 is like it's pretty crazy. Like nowadays, like back in the day, like they used to have like like freaking like 25 episodes or whatever. But these days, it seems like it's more like
22.
yeah, 22 was a pretty common one. Um, like yeah, how many episodes? Let me see real quick. Do, 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 do.
The Netflix ones I think were mainly like 13, and their events
Yeah,
were 10.
that's true. Yeah, like with Daredevil and stuff like that. Like yeah, looking back at like say like let's see here, how many episodes does this have? If we look back at like the original like Star Trek, they had like 29 episodes for season one, which is crazy. That's a lot of episodes. Um, but yeah, these days it's like 8, 10, 12, 13, whatever around that time. It's kind of somewhat rare that you see like 20 episodes unless it's like split up into 2 parts. Like here's part 1, 10 episodes. Here's part 2, 20 episodes. Um,
Yeah.
but so it's interesting that we sort of gone away from that with streaming. Not that I mind, like more episodes is great too, of course. But
Yeah.
if a series works,
I think
yeah,
I think none should be like strict to a certain format. It should
yeah,
be
just
like
be whatever.
the amount of episodes needed for your story, not the amount of episodes that your network or streaming service is merciful for.
Exactly. Yeah. That it should be the story should define the structure, not the structure should define the story. So yeah, I like that. I like that mindset. Like it feels like streaming has been somewhat more of a freeing thing creatively for shows because of course you have to have commercial breaks here. You have to have the episode be a certain length in time, and you can whatever you can't go over that time usually. So. But these days, though, you have episodes that are of varying lengths. Like the first episode of Ahsoka is like almost an hour, and the second one is like 40 minutes, give or take, with credits. So 50-40, so it's not
Typical TV episode of class. Yeah.
yeah. So
Like, if you're, why are the Skrulls still massacring everyone? Oh, my show only had 6 episodes. I was out of time.
I don't got time for this.
I couldn't stop.
Couldn't stop it in
Time
time
for
for the
them.
formula. Yeah.
30-minute finale. It was too short. Couldn't do it.
Oh man, I love that. Yeah, so it's nice seeing that being broken up. So I'm excited to see what happens with Born Again, to see where all that goes.
Born again.
Born Again, exactly. That's funny. Oh yeah, I'm curious to see what all they will do with that, and to see if we ever see Karen and Foggy again. They're pretty important parts of the story. So I don't know.
Come on, like just because she does like lots of D&D does not mean you can't bring her back.
Exactly. Yeah.
Just like kidnap her from like a table and then just like bring her in.
We've got D&D here. Please come film something for us. Yeah. Yeah. So I really hope because like the important factor of the Netflix stuff is of course like the characters are great, like the main characters like Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, yada yada. It's not just their characters. Like if the show was just focused on their characters, it would still be interesting. But like part of like the heart of Daredevil is Foggy and Karen, and like you have like all the other side characters like Misty Knight and whoever else for all Luke Cage, and you have
Cops, man.
yeah exactly. And
those memorable interactions were what made the shows and also made the heroes. So it's like
that
important to say.
Yeah, it sort of like adds to the stakes too because you have them like having their real life and then their sort of superhero life depending on the character, and sort of having to balance that or like of course like raise the stakes too, like oh Karen could die in this episode or whatever, oh my god, all that stuff. So it really like adds so much to it. So I'm sure there'll be like of course like side characters and whoever else in the in Born Again, but it feels like if Karen and Foggy aren't there, it's like this would be so easy to add them in. Like they're already established, and they're already like mean so much to the audience that people would latch onto them instantly because there's like continuing them. But yeah, I feel like that'll be one of people's complaints about the if Born Again, if it doesn't have those characters, like hopefully there aren't any other complaints. Like hopefully it's really great. But yeah, I feel like people will miss out on Karen. I know I'll miss out on Karen and Foggy if they're not there.
Yeah, they're like package deal really in terms of like the heart of Matt Murdock.
Exactly. Yeah. So. Oh yes, but yeah, we should probably end the stream soon. We've got a little preview. Let's see. I probably should have pulled it up like 2 hours ago. I've just been talking without actually like thinking about the preview. But yeah.
That's alright. It's a live stream. That's kind of how it works.
True. Very true. So thank you for joining us. It was I guess I'm the only one here besides you. So thank you for joining the stream. Yeah, it was always very fun having you on and stuff, and of course chatting and being in the podcast and stuff. And yes, very very fun.
I'm glad to be, even if it's only halfway to Ahsoka watch.
Oh yeah, yes. Always. All right. Yes. Well, I think I shall play the. I have to make sure this is the right one real quick. I think it's. Yeah. That's the one. All right. Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I will. Yes. I'll also. Okay. Let me see. How do I do this? Here we go. Okay. Oh, I have to probably turn the volume on for that. Okay. And I will also share it on Discord as well if you wish to listen in. As soon as I remember how to do that. Let me see. Let's see. No, not that. Let's see. Okay. Here it is. Yes, of course. This, I believe. Media player, probably. Alright. There we go. I'm going to deafen myself, but I shall be back before we end the stream. But okay, here we go. Alright, so yeah. So, okay, looks like we're good. Yeah. Okay, sorry. Anyways, yeah, so thank you all for joining the stream. Always so much fun. Always lovely. We had a lot of amazing, lovely guest stars and so many fun people on the stream tonight. So special thanks, of course, to Victor and Funny Hatter and Kira for joining us. Always so much fun. And here we have a chapter from Hawkeye Road Warriors. Yes. This is the next audio drama that will be coming up for us. We've got a few other audio dramas in the works. I'm also working on the Jessica Jones audio drama, but I've taken a pause for a little bit, but that's been going pretty well. We're about halfway through with that, editing that. That would be fun. Also, the next episode of Punisher is in the works. We've got one set of lines already, and we are waiting for 2 more sets of lines, but they're not due until the end of September. So you won't see that episode for a little bit, but theoretically, it should be out this year, the next episode of Punishment Past Due, so that'll be fun. I believe there will be 7 episodes in total. Don't quote me on that, I'm not the writer of the series, but I'm pretty sure that's what John said when he first started weighing out the structure and everything for that. But anyways, without further ado, this audio drama is written by Joey Simcox, the writer of the first Doctor Strange audio drama. Quite the amazing person. We've worked with Joey for quite a while now, ever since Hawkeye First Shots back in 2020 actually. Yeah, I think it was 2020. Wow. Time flies, doesn't it? Anyways, here's the first clip. I don't think there's any context that's needed. Actually, okay, I'll give you like overall like quick brief summary. But yeah, so there's basically like in this Kate and Quince are on a road trip, and chaos ensues. Here we go. This is a pretty long preview, so keep that in mind. It is 8 minutes long, so I just want to play all of it because I figured we could just do that instead of like jumping to a random point in time, like, oh, what's the context here, so you get the full scope of it. This does not have music yet, so the final cut will have music. The soundtrack is very important to the overall project. Joey did a really amazing job choosing some wonderful music for this. A lot of great choices, a lot of great music. Some of songs I haven't heard of before, and I'm a fan now. So anyways, without further ado, here is the 4th chapter of Hawkeye Road Warriors. Without music. It will have music in the end, but here we go. I'm going to shut up.
It's been a few hours now, so we pull into a nearby gas station off the highway. One of those smaller ones out in the middle of nowhere, but not like start of a horror movie small. Anyway, as we pull in, I take the quivers and bows and put them behind the seats on the floor. Clint has a big blanket in the back, so I cover them up with that. That way, if anyone looks in, they won't get any funny ideas. Though I'm not sure what some car burglar might want with some bows and supposedly normal arrows, but we have dangerous trick arrows in there, so best not to tempt fate. Clint, Lucky, and I get out of the car. I grab a water bowl and a bottle of water out of the cooler.
Catch.
Clint tosses me his wallet. I catch it as I put down the bowl and fill it with water for Lucky.
Fill up the car and grab me some protein bars. Get yourself some snacks, too. I'm gonna go use the restroom.
You got it, Hawkeye.
Knock it off, Hawkeye.
We both laugh. I stick his card in the pump and begin filling up the car. I scan the gas station and see there's another vehicle here. It's one of those Penske moving vans with some dude outside of it wearing sunglasses, a leather jacket, and smoking a cigarette. He's looking around a lot, which seems kind of sketch, but so am I, so I'll withhold my judgment. The pump clicks and I return the nozzle to its rightful place. Lucky should be hydrated now, so I dump the rest of the water and let him back in the car. I start it up. Clint's Dodge Charger has a key fob, so I don't have to leave the keys in unattended. I roll the window down slightly and turn on the air conditioning. I'll be back in a minute, bud. I head inside the gas station and grab a few things. Some coffee, gum, a pack of M&Ms, some protein bars for Clint. I take it all to the counter, covered in advertisements for lottery tickets. As the guy at the counter is scanning our stuff, I notice a rack of aviator sunglasses with a little mirror. I take one of the aviators and put them on. Damn, I look good. Add these too. The guy scans the sunglasses and I hand him Clint's card. He pauses for a moment and looks at the card in shock.
Are you some kind of celebrity?
Something like that. The doorbell rings and the sketchy guy enters the gas station, but this time he has a young woman with him. She looks too young to be his wife, but not young enough to be his daughter. I study her a little more carefully as the attendant checks me out. The woman looks malnourished, and she's got some bruising on her legs. Hold on to that. I forgot something. I walk up to the young woman, ignoring the man and putting on a smile. Oh my God, Jessica, how have you been? The woman looks at me in shock briefly, then to the man who aggressively moves himself between me and her. She looks away in fear.
You've got the wrong lady. Go away.
What? No, that can't be. That's Jessica from down the street. How have you been, girl? Have you been eating right? You look a little malnourished. The woman looks at me, and then back at the man in fear, then back at me. She mouths, "Help." That was all the invitation I needed.
Piss off, kid.
Now, no need to be rude. Actually, mister, you've got something right here. I make a motion with my hand like there's something on my face. He, quite dumbly, mimics the action and looks at his hand, confused when there's nothing there. No, right here! I spin around and swing the boot into his face, feeling the crunch against my foot as he goes flying into a nearby aisle of condoms and over-the-counter medicine. I look at the woman, who is absolutely terrified. Run! Go to the men's restroom and call out for Hawkeye. Trust me, I'm a superhero. The guy stumbles to his feet as I pull out one of those cups of ice cream you can find on the floor freezer near the front of most gas stations, frozen like a solid block of ice. He looks at me, bleeding from the head.
I'll kill you!
Oh, I'm so scared. He reaches behind his back and pulls out a gun I spotted as he went flying. As he moves to point the gun in my direction, I chuck the ice cream at him as hard as I can. It hits him square in the nose. I run over the aisle he knocked over and kick him in the chin, knocking the gun out of his hand. I then grab the gun and jump back a few paces, unloading the magazine, clearing the chamber, and tossing the empty gun to the gas station attendant. Hide that! The attendant scrambles and hides the gun under the counter. I take the magazine and start unloading the bullets individually, mockingly. This should take the gun out of the equation. The guy gets up and gets in a pose as if ready to fight hand to hand. I smile mockingly at him, like, what are you gonna do to me? Then he tackles me with his full weight. I go flying back with him. Fortunately, Clint has helped me with some martial arts training, so I roll on the floor and kick him off with my boot. He goes flying into the drink section, breaking the glass in a few beers, now pouring all over him. That one caught me off guard. Come on, buddy, what's your next move? The guy grabs a nearby metal stand used for holding hats and keychains. He wields it like a spear and tries to hit me with the tip of it. I dodge out of the way, but almost slip on the mess he's made. I look at his feet and notice it's even worse than where I'm standing, so I come up with a plan. I feint him out a couple of times, making it look like I'm about to dash forward, but he swings that display rack at me. But the fourth time I juke him. As he tries to adjust, he slips on the beer and falls face flat. I jump up and knee him in the back, knocking the air out of his lungs. I then grab his arm and yank it behind his back, pinning him to the ground with all my weight. I look up and see the attendant sheepishly looking from behind the counter. "What are you doing? Call the police!" He scrambles for a moment and grabs the gas station phone and dials 911. I then hear the doorbell again. This time Clint and the woman are there. Clint scans the gas station and assesses the situation like a veteran. "You're okay now, citizen. You've been rescued by the Hawkeyes." Clint walks over to me and grabs the guy's arm, putting his own knee on his back.
Here, let me. I weigh more.
15 minutes later and the cops are here, putting the man in handcuffs and helping the woman. We checked out the moving van and found a few more girls in the back. I've since gotten changed, but now we're on the phone with Nick Fury, who is a bit frustrated with us.
You realize how much damage you caused?
Yes, sir.
You're supposed to be on vacation, not causing trouble for the local authorities. While I appreciate you helping those women, your jobs are supposed to be to focus on bigger threats.
Yes, sir.
Now stop causing me trouble and making me write up paperwork for you two. Get back to your vacation and relax, goddammit.
Bye, Director Fury.
Well, he wasn't too mad. It could have been much worse. But since we saved someone, he was pretty lenient on us.
Yeah, I guess. One of the cops comes up to us and faces Clint, basically ignoring me, after I did most of the work.
Gotta thank y'all for the help. The perp was part of a human trafficking ring that's been terrorizing this highway for a while.
So those women were being trafficked.
Yes, sir. Most of them are illegal immigrants, as people don't typically go looking for them. Though they do sometimes pick up runaways and others with familial issues.
That could have easily been me. Clint puts his hand on my shoulder to comfort me. I'm glad he found me when he did.
Thanks again. And if you see any other signs of these traffickers, give us a call. And if you're gonna do something about it, try to keep the collateral damage to a minimum.
Of course. Thanks again, officer.
The officer returns to the gas station, and the two of us get back in the car to get back on the road.
There we go. All right. So that was Rachel Leon as Kate Bishop herself. We've got, of course, Joey Simcox as Quinn Barton. We have who else do we have? Well, I was trying to keep as I was listening to. I was trying to keep track of like everybody that's in the scene. We have C-Dub as Nick Fury. We have Kyle Hux, who's also the narrator for Spider-Man, as that cop at the end. And we also have, let's see, who am I missing? We have E-Man as the gas station attendant, and I think that is it. I think. And we also have, of course, Lucky as himself. There you go, the dog. Lucky the dog. But yes, so there we have it. That was our first preview for Hawkeye Road Warriors. Hopefully coming out in September. I believe it should be feasible. Almost done editing it, so we're very close indeed. So yes, look forward to getting it out. And what was I gonna say? I was gonna say something. I guess it wasn't. Oh, right. Okay, I remember. Yeah, and you will see some characters return from the first one. Some characters that you may not expect. I'm going to get back to Victor now. There we go. Oh, hey, all right. I am back. Yes. But, yes, I think that about does it for the stream. But, yes, thank you again, Victor, for joining us once again.
No problem.
Oh, yes. All right. Yes. So I hope you have a lovely night. Yes. And yes, always such an honor, to know you and, of course, to be working with you and everything. So, thank you for everything, sir.
No problem. And, I will continue trying to provide what I can as well. Mm-hmm.
Oh. All right. Well, yes, I'll talk to you next time.
Yep.
All right. Bye bye. All right, there we go. Yes. Yeah. So thank you, of course, Layla, for watching too. It means a lot. And yes, we will be streaming again. Let's see, it's August, almost September. I think probably next time it will be October. I think it'd be fun doing something close to Halloween. So, I'll let you all know. I'll keep you posted in the community tab. But anyways, until next time, bye bye.